on go mode. It's like, hey, let's go.
Nigga, we got time, so it's not like you just
fuck that.
going crazy about the podcast right now.
I am, yo. I'm always 100 about that. Angie, you brought some cups?
Nah, I didn't. I just bought the liquor.
Somebody gonna see you just like some
You
cups
want
out
the
there?
liquor. Why you gotta bring the cups
Exactly. Thank
too?
you.
I got a cup.
Thank you. Took the word right out my mouth.
I mean, if somebody want to go to my car and go get my cup out of my car, they can.
Why you can't go?
Exactly.
Cause I'm the one. I have to listen to this shit.
Oh, I mean, is it still gonna be recording if you put the headphones on?
Yeah, it will, but ain't nobody about to carry this conversation like I do. The fuck?
The
fuck?
Oh, that's
The fuck?
Ajay, how was your week, sir?
Like, come on. The fuck?
Good.
Like, I carry this
It's
shit.
raining like a motherfucker out
Went
there.
to work and fucking it.
That's about it. Okay.
I didn't do nothing this week. Fucking this goddamn holiday. I'm ready to do something.
I forgot it's a holiday.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're going to be at work.
I'm off on Monday.
Well, shit, I'm on. I work on every damn holiday, so I don't
Somebody
care.
better invite me to something. Or I'm gonna have way less friends. Like fuck y'all niggas.
How many do you have now?
Seriously, not a lot.
Silent pause.
I was being serious. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah, I'm being serious too. Like, not a lot. I'm not even worried about niggas no more. So.
Exactly. That's how you're supposed to be. Like, fuck that, man.
Oh.
I mean, you know.
every new friend I have will have nice titties and a fat ass and a vagina. I don't need no new nigga friends. Fuck out of here.
No new nigga friends?
None.
Okay.
Like a new vagina or born with a vagina?
Born with
Yeah.
one.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I just wanted to know.
No, I like how you did that though. You
I
was like,
just-
yeah, let's.
Why we
make
gotta
sure.
gay everything up?
No,
We
I just
didn't.
wanted
These are
to
questions.
clarify.
Look, we are trying to be gender fluid. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
You are
If you're
awesome man.
attracted to a transgender
break
woman,
glass.
it doesn't make you gay.
You know what?
What?
Fuck that. Let's do the whole
Why is
glass,
it like
man.
stuck? Wait,
I
what?
feel like
It doesn't. You're still
That's for him.
attracted to a
Or whoever.
woman.
I
I
got
Oh, he already got a cup.
I feel like you're trying me,
No, I'm not. I'm just
Okay,
saying
I
that's my
forgot
personal
it's
and I
belief.
just give you compliments all the time.
I'm
And
gonna
I
try.
appreciate
Fuck
it.
that. I'm trying you about it.
I'm not. That's my personal
I
belief.
am.
I
Fuck
was
it.
gonna
I'm an
tell you
asshole.
your boobs look nice today, but I'm not gonna tell you that.
Wow.
Thanks.
We don't do it for us all, John.
Damn, son.
That's just a compliment.
That shit
I
got-
would still think it like, damn, that boobs look nice.
Like for a second, she was like, "Wait." That's
You
not
know
what
you
I'm
had your
trying
titties out when you left that crib. Like, stop it. Like, you like, oh, I'm wearing fucking. It's like the end of summer and you still
Have
wearing.
this on
fucking-
all day. Like all day.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
All day.
Either you're
We're-
anemic or you're just not paying attention to anything.
We appreciate you in here.
Because I'm like, damn, you either really cold because of thin.
Well,
You
I
got
knew
your
it was gonna
boobs
be
out
cold
with a
here.
hoodie on.
Oh.
I knew it was gonna be cold here.
It's not cold, it's hot.
I'm always cold in
It's
here.
hot. Right now, at least.
Oh.
I guess. I don't maybe get
Josh, you
cold.
still need a chair. son.
Okay. Oz, how was your week?
You gotta
And I like your hair.
Well, my week was,
Thank you.
yeah, like,
Anybody got a bottle opener?
yeah.
I always have one.
yeah.
There you go.
Want one?
What is that?
Fine until we
Angry
get on
Orchard
something, you know?
Rosé
It's
drink.
like,
This
This
is
is
good.
good. I'll try
It's
it.
good.
accept a lot of stress
Want one?
at work.
No, thank you.
I'll try one. See what it is.
Yo, she be trying to stay sober. No, I think she's gonna take advantage of us.
Yeah.
I really
This
do feel like that's the
wouldn't be
vibe
for-
right now.
I don't think.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm
I
so
don't think-
dizzy.
Well,
gonna
I've
wake up in
had
the
the
morning
Angry
like-
Orchard Rosé and I don't prefer it, and I also do not drink it Barbados.
So wake up in the morning like, why does my penis feel so good?
Oh,
Feels
okay.
tingly.
I don't like this.
Wait, why my wallet gone though?
Oh, that's because somebody just robbed you. She didn't even have nothing to do with that. Like, you just got robbed. That's all that was.
Shout out John Clanrock.
What's
Shout
up, Gene?
Sean Jameson. My
What's
sister
up, Sean?
Aisha. What's good, everybody?
What's going on,
this
people?
motherfucking
Paying
podcast.
attention. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Out here.
We was asking everybody how their week been going. Josh, how your week been going, man? Oh, he didn't even introduce himself because he came in late.
He ain't coming late.
It's
he ain't
Henny
coming
W.
late.
Yeah,
I was here
W.
on time. I just
Point.
Yeah,
left.
you had to go do stuff.
But my week was great. I did 2 fantasy drafts. I think I did real well then.
Yeah, that's what I meant to ask. Who on fantasy football this season?
Me and this motherfucker right here.
Man,
Are
why?
you guys
I
in the
feel,
same?
I feel a lot of negative energy coming from your way.
Cuz,
Oh,
yo.
Are y'all in the same game?
Yeah,
I'm
we
about to
have
ask.
two leagues.
We got a third league. We're drafting Saturday.
Yeah,
Is
so
there money involved?
Hell yeah. That's why it's personal. Yeah.
Okay.
Not personal.
I can't
But
play
it's not personal.
fantasy
It's not,
football,
but it's kinda,
Yeah.
but I like to know when niggas is winning and losing. That fucking just makes my day. When people like, oh fuck, I'm losing. I'm like, yes, fucking loser. Like, I don't know why. It's fucking just
Wow.
makes me feel good inside.
Okay.
Know that I'm not losing money. I'm fucking scared bitch.
What's going on, Sean? What's going on with you? Again, you know, we all been having good weeks, man. All you know, good week. My shit's been pretty good. Like I said, I'm not mad. I'm not anything. You know, I'm good right now. I'm in good spirits, positive vibes. You know, all that good stuff. And shut up, Oz, because I know you about to say some shit. No, ain't nobody in no fucking love. Like, get that out your head now. Ain't none of that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm
hoping.
No, there is nothing wrong with that, but you don't put that out there when it's not needed.
Hey, I was.
You know what I'm saying? Because you
I
You said
I
not
even
needed
say anything.
yet.
not needed yet.
Oh,
I said
okay.
Like if it gets to that
I
point,
said
then
it
cool.
outside.
But there is something there to where it could.
No, we vibe.
Oh, there's a we.
Yeah, we vibe.
Oh, okay.
We vibe.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? She real cool girl. So you know,
That's nice.
it works out. Enough about me and you know my sexless love life and shit. 'Cause that's all people want
That
to know
nigga is
about.
lying his ass off.
Is she listening right now?
No, she's
Hey,
not.
stop fucking being nice, man. You be
Yo, he's gonna go real quiet if she does go.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say who it is.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about
He's
Bible
gonna get real
scriptures.
quiet.
Like, fuck out of
Like,
here.
wait.
Actually, no, I don't have to do that because she's with the shits. So you know,
Alright,
ain't nothing like that. But you know.
Well, hey, look at that glass and just.
Oh, you want some more? Oh, okay. You
No, I'm gonna pour that. And
Well, you got a
drink
coffee
it.
right
you know,
Oh, you don't need
that nigga
that.
wanted a
Just
coffee,
need
you know.
some-
Oh yeah, I definitely need to
She
chase.
want to get on.
What happened?
You want to say something? No, okay.
Oh, she chilling.
Oh, hey, don't be afraid now.
All right.
Chilling. Like, yo, she's enjoying the show.
You've been here before.
Exactly. You know how
Slapping
we
that
get
ass?
We supposed to. Give me.
Okay.
What's the name? We
That's
supposed to have a
slap the ass,
guest. You
man.
gotta slap it on the ass. Bro. Slap the in the
Nigga, you
bottom.
never drank before? You little young dumb
Young nigga, yo.
Nigga,
You
that's
gotta
what
slap
I'm
the
talking
ass
about.
and finger the
That's
butt.
right. You gotta
She
slap
ain't
the
drinking.
ass.
No, I'm not drinking.
You don't gotta, you hear it. Slap
Okay.
the ass.
You gotta finger the butt.
Slap the ass.
All right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But,
My week was really good.
this got really uncomfortable.
Um,
Uncomfortable podcast.
Work was tough, but I learned a lot, and I finished a book that was really inspirational. So that's fun.
As long as it wasn't a cat in the hat, was good.
No, it was the War on Art. The
What-
War of Art.
What is it? What is that?
It's basically just a motivational book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who wrote
it's
it?
cool.
So that was like the Art of War backwards. I see it.
Yeah, it is. It's like the Art of War backwards. Yes, that's shit.
Oh shit, I didn't even, that shit went way over my head. Because first he said a different word, then she said art. I was like, I didn't even think about it.
I think the author is Scott Peterson. He's written a couple
I've
other
heard
books,
Scott
but
Peterson.
yeah, it's really good. So
Shout out to Charlemagne, the guy, because he talks a lot about like books and shit on his show. You know, whether it's the Breakfast Club or you know, the Pretty Idiots.
Yo, you heard, like, I think
Huh?
they're about to break up, son.
Ooh, the Breakfast Club?
No, Charlemagne and Schultz.
Why?
He admitted, like, you ain't see the Joe Biden podcast? I mean, not podcast.
Oh,
but
where he
interview.
admitted to raping the girl.
Whoa.
No.
No?
Oh, I was about to
okay.
say.
Who admitted to raping the girl?
I mean,
Ain't no
it
way.
was-
Well, I-
Nah, he was, there was like Joe
Nah.
Biden was like, you
yes,
seem
it
like,
was.
No,
It was.
it was his wife, and she said she was there, and she knew exactly what was going on.
Which time? Because there's two. There's one that they talked about previously, and then there's one that just came back up.
The first one you're talking about is with the underage chick. He had nothing to do with that, so we got.
there was a
that
short
one.
stay in
Yeah.
Monk's Corner.
And
I heard
the
about
other
that party
time
before
is
it-
Where
with
he
his
bought
wife.
the drugs for
Yeah,
the girl?
and-
No. He rented, he got his homeboy to, cause we got a spot in Monk's Corner called Short Stay.
Mm-hmm.
That's where if you're in the military, you can go rent a villa, you and your family, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But niggas like us get niggas like me who got military IDs to go and rent the fucking villa.
Yeah.
So nigga, he got his man who had a military ID, rent a villa, had a bunch of little niggas there. They was partying for, I think it was like graduation or something. A bunch of high school niggas. And Monk's Corner, we always got the lit white girl. She popped off. And
Bro, that
he's the
porn is
famous
terrible.
one. He's the famous one. So, he was there when this happened.
Yeah,
he
oh,
left.
What's up, Terrell?
Oh,
He's
that
got the
I
little
never
niggas
knew
there.
about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. See,
That's what he went to jail for. Like he had to do
yeah,
an actual.
I didn't know anything.
a lot of
about
people
that
don't
one.
be
He had
knowing.
to actually do a sex, like the shit they do when the rape case or whatever.
Yeah.
So he had to go through all that, and they let him go. But
But-
he still went to jail for this shit because he thought it's like a long story that he told, but it was like basically he was like, yo, trying to get his niggas off, and niggas was like, yeah, Charlamagne was there too. Like, word, yeah. And he went to go bail his cousin out. He was like, niggas got your cousin in jail, so you to go bail him out. Like, yeah, you Larry, ain't you? Yeah. Just go ahead and sit right there in that
I know,
jail.
man. As soon as he try to help other people,
Yeah.
bring them down too. That's crazy.
In the other case,
Especially in Monk's Corner.
the other one he was talking
Niggas
about
bring
when he
you
was
down.
on when he was on the podcast. Like his wife came on, she was talking on the Breakfast Club about it, and she was like, "Yo, you just number one, you're terrible at telling the story because you don't remember a damn thing that happened." And she was like, "Yo, I wasn't drunk or drunk. Like I knew exactly what you was doing. We both went to the sex shop. We both went to go get the Spanish fly. That was something we both wanted to do." So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't hear that. I just heard what
Yeah,
he
she-
interviewed and said.
Most
She
people
called in.
Yeah, she
Like,
called in, and that's the thing. Like, I had somebody go at me hard about this shit. I'm like, he's like, yo, he kept saying he was raped, and you heard the other dude interview. I'm like, number one, it wasn't an interview. That was them on the podcast. Like, that's him and Schultz on the podcast talking about shit, and Schultz being Schultz. If people don't know who Andrew Schultz is, he's a comedian, and he always try to find something funny. So his thing is, like, okay, say we're around, right? All of us around, and I'm over here like, yo, Ja, you got some ass, da 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 da. I'm always putting his shit out there, right? But the moment you come to me about, oh, yo, what you do? Oh, I don't have nothing to say. That's Schultz. Schultz would be like, he'll just go and drive a joke into the ground to the point where he's like, yo, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Because he had one time where, like, one of the dudes on there was talking about something. He was like, what? Like, the fact that you have AIDS? And, like, he just kept saying shit. And, like, bro, that's not even funny. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's not.
So when he was talking about how you raped her, like that's him trying to be funny. Like he's
And
not
I think
even.
that's why he's like really getting tired of Schultz.
Yeah,
They
like
want the-
like he tries to make jokes out of things. It's like it's not funny, dog. So that whole situation, it was definitely a terrible explanation of a night what he had with his wife, but it just is really getting just blown out of proportion. And obviously, ain't nobody heard nothing else about it. So I was like, yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. But what the hell else we were talking about? We were talking about something. I guess you said.
Oh, hard days, hard weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, fuck all that.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about happy shit, but you know, I don't know what.
I mean, that was
I want
supposed to be
to
the
talk
happy
about
shit.
so depressing stuff.
What the fuck happened happy this week?
Oh, damn.
I seen
Well, I mean,
Oh,
even though
lady
Miss
get shot in
Aretha
the
Franklin
face.
is gone, her attire was the shit. She was dressed in all red and
No.
red bottom Louis Vuittons, and her legs were crossed
Big
in the
and back being
casket.
bull.
Okay,
What
so
you talking about?
Aretha
Miss Aretha
Franklin.
Franklin. So shout out to the good
I
Reds.
didn't know she was a blood. But
She's a Delta.
Oh man, she definitely blooded up. Shit.
Not okay. But I just thought that was super funny, and super cool, and super like her. She also had a different outfit for the next day.
Now that shit was extra as fuck.
But that's Aretha though. She a diva.
I don't care. That's
shut up,
extra.
girl. And it's not like she ain't got the money to do it.
I
So.
don't, she's dead.
So?
So how's she gonna know?
But that's legally you have to follow what her
Yeah,
last will
that's
and
her
testament.
wishes.
Legally,
You know what? How I changed the outfit? I just changed her hat.
I'm sure she had those outfits planned out to the T.
That's whack.
I'm sure she did.
That is so whack.
I don't
Like-
think it's whack. I think it's awesome.
Like somebody, like say I'm the Undertaker and I gotta deal with that shit, right? After I'm like, yo, this some
Bro,
bullshit.
the amount of money that he getting paid, I'm sure he's okay. He or she is okay with it as well.
I'm pretty sure they are, but I know me. I'm like, nah, I'm good on this shit, yo. I can't do this. What the hell you doing, Oz?
you gotta.
You gotta use your.
We're gonna teach how to drink.
I got, man.
Shout out Salt. What's up, Salt? What's good?
But I mean, I guess it's not a happy occasion, but it's
Shout out Boss from Cannon. Was good.
it's a situation that happened. You know, she passed away. R.P. to Aretha Franklin. There's a couple other people that's been passed. Like there's been a lot of
John McCain.
He's
Yeah.
gone.
okay.
And
R.I.P. to him,
what's
but-
the name with the just had liver surgery? They found cancer. Old president.
William, I don't know.
Is it Carter or Reagan?
But no, he's Reagan.
Reagan's
Reagan.
dead.
Okay, then it's not that one. Must be
If it's Carter, he should have been dead.
He's
too.
really old.
Yeah, he's old as fuck.
He don't give a fuck because he out of here. He like, nigga, I'm out here.
Just found the
He'll
cancer
probably do the
shit.
next one together.
Bust my
Damn. That got dark.
He was like, "You just found my cancer. I knew about this shit." All the
Yeah,
time."
Damn.
How dare y'all cut me open to find out I
Not
got
late.
cancer.
I haven't heard that term in so long.
What?
Not late.
Hey, I do want to say about John McCain though.
Yeah, I was about to say this shit.
Hold
This
up.
shit is so
I want to
cool.
say this. How big of an asshole you got to be to not get invited to 2 funerals and a
Bro.
wedding?
Bro, while your wife is invited,
Son,
let's not
God
forget
damn,
that
you got to
part.
be the biggest asshole.
Son, this
Let's not
nigga
forget
took
that
time
part.
out his death, like, yo, make
I
sure
don't
this
want that
motherfucker don't
nigga
come
there.
here, son.
Yeah.
I feel insulted. I'm like, this dead motherfucker, fuck your
He
funeral,
like,
nigga.
he like the ghost of Hitler. Motherfucker. He come, that nigga Trump, fuck that nigga. He ain't got my shit.
You took time out of dying.
I don't want that nigga.
Wait.
Like, hey, I know
I'm
I'm dying.
I'm
Make sure he
personally
not
That
dead.
disinvited.
that
You
motherfucker
are not
died
allowed
on
here, bro.
deathbed. Then woke back up and was like, "Wait, make sure that motherfucker
Mhm.
trying to come up here."
Bruh.
That nigga mama can show up, but he better not be there.
Your boy
Every
was,
Trump but him can be there.
Your boy was a prisoner of war. He'd rather have the dudes in the country that took him prisoner come to his funeral than
Well,
Trump.
Yeah,
And
some
Trump-
was like,
According
yo,
to Trump.
And
'cause
Trump petty though. Trump petty as fuck. He had like he didn't want to have the flag at half mast.
Yeah.
They was like, yo, he had to eventually do it. Talking about, he was a good man. He was a war hero. I'm like, if I was anybody else, I'd be like, keep that energy, yo. You say he was a pussy for getting
that's
caught.
exactly what he
I
said, bro.
I like my
That's
heroes who
exactly
don't
what
get
he
caught.
said.
That's my
That's
heroes who don't
exactly
get
what
caught.
he said.
I was hoping, like, on everything I love, son, I was hoping fucking Joe Biden would have put them hands on him. Joe Biden was like, I'm about to put these hands on him
If
behind the
anybody
barn.
would
I was
do
like,
it, it
oh,
would be
shit.
Joe Biden, bro.
He was like,
Joe Biden
back in
about
my
that
day,
life.
I take him back
He about
behind
that
the
life.
barn and give him a once
He
over.
really about that life.
Give him the whole hibbity jibbity. Like, God damn, look at
Like,
Joe
we're
Biden
getting
about
engaged
some
in
shit.
fisticuffs.
Not
Put up your
fisticuffs.
dude say.
Exactly.
Hit that nigga with the
Come on,
better
Gene.
than fighting Irish. Man.
Come on, Shane.
Come on, you cocksucker.
Exactly.
Come on, baloney lips. God damn, I ain't never nobody called baloney lips. That nigga's old school.
Yeah. Like,
Spam face motherfucker.
he like, yeah, nincompoop. Like, what? Like, damn, son. Like, yo, you gotta catch that smoke, Trump. I'm so cool, I'm so big, and I will put him down in one move. Like, like, son, he be still riding off that wave that he had when he was in, like, the WWE.
Yeah, I
and
remember
that shit
that
was
shit.
wild fake.
I
And he
remember.
clotheslined somebody one
Yeah,
time in his
fucking,
life.
what's his nigga name?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that nigga.
Oh, Vince McMahon will fuck him up
And
in
then
real
they,
life.
Then they shaved his head because
Yeah, because he didn't care. Vince was like, yeah, go ahead, shave my hair. I'm
he's
cool.
gonna shave that shit anyway. Yo.
Exactly. Like, I'm cool with that.
Let's go.
Yeah, like, come on now. Like, that's the funniest thing that
So
I've
if a
seen. So
nigga
you know what?
take-
Shout out to fucking McCain, yo. Hand claps to him, yo. Shout out to him. Like,
Anybody
that's what I'm
take
talking about.
time out their day to uninvite me to some shit that I
That's
wasn't
some- yeah,
sure
that's
I was gonna go
That's some
to?
petty shit.
Super petty.
Especially when they die and
When
then
you're
invite your
dying.
ass.
Yeah, so
You
niggas
know
was
you
like,
got
you going
brain
to you going to the John McClane? Like, I
McCain?
don't know. Yeah, John
I'm
McClane.
about to say, name about Die Hard?
That's
And he wouldn't be invited to that funeral either.
It's
Let's
like,
be
yo,
clear.
you go to the you go to the funeral? Like, I don't know, but I know Trump ain't going. I know that for a fact. I might go if they get a couple open seats, but I know that nigga's definitely not going.
Nigga, I got to invite, yo. I gotta go to work, yo. You know what I'm saying? I can't go right now. I'm on leave restriction. I can't go, yo. But
Oh shit.
that's some real dope shit for like my petty meter was like thumbs up on that one. Like, yo, that's what's up. And Trump, like, that nigga's just he hurting and like he's like his
Yeah, because all the big wig politicians is
Exactly.
at the funeral right
Like,
now.
his pride
Well,
is
not right now,
hurt
but early
right now,
today,
son.
and that nigga, he ain't get invited. Like, how you the president and leader of the country and all the other politicians from my country in one place?
Yeah, I gotta remember, he joined, like, I forgot what happened, but he just let him know, like, whatever you want, I'm voting against it. Like, I don't
Yeah,
care. Son.
exactly.
Well, you know, they
I
got
don't care
smoke
if
from
it's-
that health care when John McCain was the deciding factor in Trump getting his health care plan.
Yeah,
approved.
and he
he
walked in.
voted against it. He walked in.
Son-
he out of the hospital, came to the
Son, yeah,
fucking
that's what
tenant
I
floor.
said,
Was
like-
like, no, I ain't voting
Son
for this
went
shit.
A real G.
Jesus
Son came in
Christ.
with,
Yeah,
he came in with the
oh,
rose
yeah.
and ass out.
He had the IVs in his arm, like, fuck that, no, nigga.
He's like, no, nigga, fuck you. When he voted, I'm voting the opposite.
Damn, son, that's
It's
wild.
like, it's for your health care. Fuck that. I don't want
Like,
nothing.
Trump about to be like, anybody who's in my cabinet and went to that party, you're fired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, son, they all going to
Fire
jail.
them. They all leaving.
They all going to
They
jail.
all turning.
Basically.
I mean, it's son. Trump has had the worst fucking presidency I've seen in a long time. Like niggas thought Bush was bad. Like nigga, I wouldn't mind him coming back
I think
right
the
now.
whole world would rather Bush.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Bush can come back right now. Trump, like son, how your whole cabinet and all your advisors, everybody getting locked up.
Yep.
Motherfuckers, you firing and snitched on you. Omarosa, that motherfucker, she done snitched on him.
Called her
And
a
shit.
dog.
Unnecessary evil.
I mean, you know what? And motherfuckers talking about, oh, good for you, Omarosa. I'm like, nah, fuck that. No, fuck that. She's still out.
I mean, she's
not
not
bad.
shit, but we can use what she got.
No. I'm not gonna hate on her because she rode her wave. Like fuck it, like this wave is winning. I'm on this wave.
Nah.
And once you fall off a wave, you like fuck that wave.
I
yo.
can't give her
I
no
gotta make
pass on
another
that
one.
one. I can't give her no pass.
Yeah, so like nah, I let her
She a
rock.
snitch
yo.
for
Nah, you know,
Cause
shit
we don't
bad.
gotta like I don't care like
Snitch.
we like. I'm not turning my back on black people no more, so I'm not doing it.
I'm not turning my back on her, but I'm not gonna give her the same.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give her the same energy
I
she
give
wants.
somebody who
Yeah.
showing love.
It's like,
From the
okay,
jump.
cool.
Don't show love because shit falling, because now you see an opportunity to expose somebody, and now you want people to
And you wanna
buy
say, yo,
into
That's
your
when you're
bullshit.
supposed to do it. Like
And
when
no,
are you
You
supposed
gotta
to do
say
it?
that
You're not gonna
same.
do it when y'all winning.
No, what we say, you gotta
I'm
have
not
that
gonna
same
lie.
energy all around.
No,
Don't have
because-
that energy now when
Yes.
shit.
Gotta have
No,
that same
because
energy,
when
bro.
we winning, now I'm gonna be like, yeah, I can't wait till we fucking up. Like, yeah, Sean don't tie his shoes. He got his shoes on the wrong feet. And niggas like, oh shit, Sean ain't shit. He got his shoes on. No, we gonna ride this wave, and once I fall off, I'm gonna fall off gracefully. I'm not gonna do what she do and try to put a nigga out there. But
That's what I'm saying.
ride a winning wave.
But
everybody
the
can't be
wave,
the captain.
but the wave that we're riding right now is positive. Like her wave was on some not even
No,
negative, but she
she
was
gotta
on some
worry
fuck,
about her.
She was on some fuck y'all shit. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. That's
She
why a
gotta
lot of
get
black
hers.
people are like, yeah, that's cool and all, but you're not part of the
Stop.
fucking
For one
community.
thing, I don't give a fuck about what she do.
I don't either.
So why we like? Oh, she didn't do nothing for black people. She
No.
not the black
I don't
people's
want her to do
fucking
shit for us.
spokesperson.
No, I don't want her to do shit for us because she never did. But don't come back to us like we supposed to just be like, it's okay.
Niggas did it for OJ.
No, we didn't.
When?
Niggas did it for OJ. OJ at the club right now.
Nigga, we don't give a
With
fuck
a
about
bunch of white
OJ.
bitches doing the Millie Rock.
Nigga,
Ain't nobody
yeah.
stopping the Millie
Nobody
Rock. Like,
give a
nigga,
fuck
OJ,
about
you can't do the Millie Rock, nigga. Fuck out of here,
Bro,
son.
don't nobody like OJ.
Niggas still
Nigga,
fuck with
white
OJ.
people like
I
OJ.
promise you.
Black people do not fuck with OJ, dog.
Listen,
I don't fuck
OJ
with
That nigga
walking in
said
the
don't
right
call-
now. We were like, sit down to have this
They
conversation.
asked him when they asked him, "Are he a black? Are you a black man or something?" He said, "No, I'm OJ." That's when.
Yeah, come on.
But that's real shit. Like,
we ain't gonna
nigga,
talk about
I'm.
that again.
we not-
You can't be
we
a
not-
black man and OJ at the same time.
Son,
You
listen.
can, but maybe he just doesn't want to be.
That's fine.
Okay,
You know, that's
don't,
cool.
don't expect support from the black community. Niggas ain't fucking with you.
Exactly.
That's all.
Fuck out of here.
Niggas stab.
You don't want to identify with us, but you want our support. How does that sound?
Come on, man.
Listen, I'm not black. I'm a jai.
You a black ass a job.
Yeah, you can't have that. Man.
I can't
I'm like
stand
the black
it.
dude in the room.
I swear. It's like,
When you so black, it's
You
a
blend
joke.
in with the wall, bro.
Oh damn.
God,
Oh, we gonna stop with the jokes.
All
Let's
right,
not
let's
stop with
not,
the
let's
jokes.
not start with the colors.
come on, man. Come on.
You
man.
got
So
titties
wait.
and
I
stuff.
can't make a
Stop.
joke. I can't make a joke. I'll be getting burned.
For one
Everybody
thing-
jokes on me all day.
No,
I can't
because
make
no,
one joke.
we don't joke on you. You be fucking up. We point out your fuck up.
Nigga, I would titty fuck you. Chill out.
All right, now when that nigga
That's
start going in,
disrespectful
don't get
on
mad.
two levels,
'Cause
like-
you open that door.
Yeah, so moving
When
forward.
the guy start going in, don't get mad. You open the door, that nigga start going in.
Y'all always make fun of me, so I'm used to it. I guess.
No, we don't make fun of you. We just laugh at your shortcomings.
No, I make fun of you.
Like, I don't make fun of you. I just laugh at the dumb
Dumb
shit
shit.
you do. So,
But you still my little homie.
yeah.
Still my little homie.
Yeah, you know, you can catch these jokes at any given time.
Nigga, when I was 18, I used to punch my little niggas, yo.
So yeah, you're getting off light. But
I made
So
grown men
interesting.
cry.
what happened?
Male bonding is so interesting.
Y'all don't punch each other?
No, not for bonding. Do what?
Y'all don't do
Y'all do jumping jacks?
y'all don't do Hell in a Cell matches?
What?
No.
So that's random as
Is that
shit.
a thing?
Actually, that is a thing.
That's
Men
a
do
thing.
men actually do
That's
that.
a real okay.
Yeah,
No, but you do
Right.
that to like your son and your like little cousins and shit.
yeah.
You fucking just DDT. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
Yeah,
You never did wrestling moves on your little sister?
I mean, yeah, but that was because there's like 2 girl
Pick
cousins
somebody
and
in
the
a-
rest
in a
were guys,
stunner,
and the
or-
rest were guys. So we had to do what they did. Like we wrestled, we played football. all
until
that.
somebody got hurt and cried, and then I told you about all that playing and sit down.
We knew better than to go to our moms for what? They just gonna tell us go back outside. Like,
Oh man.
Where you? All right. What's your situation? You got brothers, sisters.
yes, I have an older brother on my mom's side, and then I have 7 brothers and sisters on my dad's side.
God damn.
God damn, your dad out here fucking.
He was not anymore, but he was. He was a truck driver.
He's still out here
Truck
fucking.
driver.
He out here fucking, but not the amount of women he was fucking.
Hey, shout out to dad out here.
Getting them
Don't
yeets.
stop that shit.
Raw dogging out
Not
there.
when he's dead.
Raw
Not when
dog
he's
make
dead.
raw.
I mean,
That's like my next.
he was obviously fucking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
well, you
What you on
can't.
that ice road
like,
fuckers?
me and my little brother are 7 months apart.
God damn.
So, and my little sister behind that.
So y'all
My
project
mom,
twins.
her
Motherfuckers
mom,
out here running
basically, my mom,
convoys?
her mom, and my brother's mom, they lived in one county away from each other. They all pretty much knew each other.
Fuckers.
But my mom never wanted anything but a little girl with his hair. So,
He went out here fucking lot lizards, was he? Just how that happen?
what is a lot lizard?
Somebody
Right.
go find paper towel real quick.
I'm
Use
not-
that bag or something.
What is a lot lizard?
Hose.
Oh, he might have been, but
Lot
my
lizards.
mother was not
Lot
one.
lizards.
So.
I've never heard that term.
Nah, lot lizards.
I
I
never
used to
heard
drive
that.
trucks, so I know. Lot lizards are prostitutes that hang out at truck stops.
Oh,
Word?
okay,
'Cause
well.
that's my
Is it?
next
is it
future goal is to be a truck driver.
just get a.
For the lot lizards, or
So I like
You want
traveling.
them thigh lizards, shit?
I'm
That
trying.
sound like
If
a
I
Mad
can
Max
get
term.
paid to
A lot
if I get paid to travel, then yeah, I love traveling.
You love lot lizards?
If I meet one and they're pretty cool, like yeah, I'm not above
They
I got
might
some
not
cool
want that.
so wait, you were in the Air Force, right, Ajay?
Navy
In the Navy,
in the real military.
and the real military.
We call it the men's department.
So we
What y'all call it?
I don't know if y'all saw this thing on
Victoria
Twitter where they
Force?
were like,
Victoria
comment some of the stuff you've heard your drill sergeant say during boot camp.
I think I saw that somewhere.
And
yeah.
I was like, ooh, that would be a cool question to ask Ajay because you may remember some.
But we don't have drill sergeants.
Well, what do you
Our
call
shit
them?
is different. Like, I don't fucking remember.
Yeah,
I was
drill
at boot
sergeant
camp
that
so
spoke in
long
boot
ago. Nah, drill sergeants are like army, I think. We had what was that shit called in boot camp? I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh
We
Lord.
actually,
As long as they ain't say no weird shit to y'all, like,
nah, but
you know.
like that's the thing. It's like
Everybody take their shirts off and touch the chest. Like, what?
But that's what people don't realize. Like the military is all about cleaning up their image. Like the Navy is known for pulling up and people fucking hoes, getting them pregnant and leaving. So they're trying to clean that up.
Damn.
They don't want the drunken sailor stigma
I'll be
no
back.
more. They don't want the I just did a crime. Let me join the military to get the fuck out of here no more. Like they're really trying to. People feel like, oh, you didn't do good in school, you're dumb, join the military, and they're trying to get rid of that because it's really
I was
smart
about to say
people.
that's not the case.
Yeah, because I promise you.
Well, they say they only be in the Army if they really dumb, but the Air Force.
Nah, the Navy, we got like the smartest
Nah, the
people.
Marines, they said that they be done because them motherfuckers always the first
You
one.
actually
Yeah.
have to
But
have a
they're-
higher score to join the Marines in the Army.
Yeah, they always feel like you gotta be
We call them
something.
bullet sponges because they're the first.
Yeah, they're the first ones to go out there.
Yeah,
So that's
they
why
are.
people's like, yo, y'all gotta be kind of dumb to be, you know, you're the first
But
one to go.
that's
so.
like,
I don't know. I don't agree with that, you know. So, it is
Hey.
what it is.
So I've got a question, real quick military question. So out of the Army Special Forces and the Green Beret, is the Navy
Navy
SEALs the
SEALs.
hardest of
Navy
the
SEALs,
hardcore?
yeah.
Okay.
they're the like people don't realize Marines are under the Navy because we sign their paychecks. So it's Marines under Navy, and the Navy SEALs are like the most elite. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like Navy SEALs and Green Beret, but I'm partial to the Navy, so like I'm gonna go ahead
You
and
got
say
the Rangers and shit, though. Like the
Fuck
Army
them.
Rangers.
Nah, cause Navy SEALs, you gotta be comfortable in water. Like these niggas do like wild
They
shit.
do.
Them the
Yeah.
niggas killed Bin Laden, right?
Yeah.
They have to tread
17
water
six,
for like
These niggas got
an
a
excessive
fucking
amount of hours.
some shit where you gotta hold a big ass log. It's you and like 3 other niggas gotta hold this log for 24 hours.
What?
And it
24
can't-
hours.
It
Yeah.
can't touch the ground.
Wow.
So you got 2 people like, all right, you go to sleep, and we're gonna wake you up. Then you come and like you gotta schedule your lunch, everything around, but that log cannot touch the ground for. I think it's 24 hours. I may be exaggerating. Cause
No, that actually sounds about right.
yeah, so you just gotta sit there and hold this log, and you gotta schedule everything around that log. Like, all right, you two go eat come back, and then we go eat, y'all hold the log, and then you just sitting there all day just holding the fucking log, and then you're because I think Seals Meps is in San Diego, so you're running soft sand on the beach all day. You're fucking swimming, and they throw you in the pool, tie you up, and they beating you up underwater and shit. You got to get to the top, get some air, come back down, and try to fucking unravel yourself. Like, it's crazy. Like, yo,
niggas is down there like.
Yeah, SEAL training is fucking crazy. Son. Like, I got a homeboy, like, and they can't kick you out. You got to quit. My homeboy broke his leg. He was like, all right, you good. Chill out for a minute, heal your leg. And he went back, broke his leg again. Like, they can't kick you out, you got to quit. So he was like, yeah, I'm going back. I'm like, son, you're fucking stupid. But it's like if you, like my nephew, he want to join it, but he bullshitting. But it's like, if you're an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, because that dude could be on like a hardcore mission, break his leg again. And,
he's still going to bust his gun. Like, these niggas learn to stab a motherfucker to where they don't bleed for like 5 minutes. You stab them, do something, hide them, and they don't bleed until you fucking gone. And then they start, because blood smells. You can smell blood. So this nigga somewhere fucking drowning on fucking blood, and then it start bleeding. You're already fucking back on your little boat.
Nigga, that sound like some shit I did on Splinter Cell. I killed the motherfucker.
Oh my
God. That's what all that shit is based on. That's real. That's what all that shit is based on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm black and I'm super fucking patriotic, so fuck all y'all other goddamn countries, Navy SEALs. I'm out here.
Okay. Wonderful.
Come see me. I got the homies I can call, goddamn it.
Oh, okay.
So I heard some of these SEAL stories,
shit.
like
Damn.
these niggas, like, they get dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and like the first two people they protect is their cook and the fucking doctor. Everything else, like, these niggas be on a boat and see a deer and snipe a deer, bang, that's dinner.
That makes sense.
That is what I do out here.
Yeah, son. Like, I shout out to Navy SEALs. I fuck with y'all. Everybody in the Navy, submarines, all y'all. We good.
All right. Shout out to him. Yeah, man.
Cause the Marine, I think like it was like Marine Day in Charlotte. I was like, fuck that shit, yo. Goddamn Navy.
Shout out to all our military.
Shout out
to all our military.
Stop the fucking. I hate when y'all fucking waiver shit.
Because
don't waiver shit.
Hometown.
Yeah,
Hey, none of y'all. Shout out to Navy.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Look, I have just, family
Stop
members.
wavering shit.
I have family members that was in all branches,
Stop
so
putting
that's how I feel.
asterisks
Man.
on everything.
Yeah,
It's not asterisk. We just feel differently.
Yeah, we don't want everybody. We don't want people to be left out, son. I'm sorry.
I don't give a damn.
We know.
I'm biased.
We know.
God damn it.
We know. There's a lot of things that you are right now.
We know.
I'm biased out here.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
That real talk, like
God damn it.
no, I'm not for real. I'm just like, it's hard to be a black man in America and be a patriot because what this country has done to us.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this country has fucked a gang of my forefathers and grandfathers and uncles and everything. So, like, for me to be proud to be from here, because niggas can't wait to, oh, nigga, you out here fighting this white man war. Like, no, nigga, they don't give a fuck about us either. Like, these niggas will shoot you in your goddamn face just because you don't agree with them. Like, fuck out of here. Like, you want gas to be back to 35 cents, you better shoot a nigga.
Oh, shit.
Let me know who I gotta stab to fucking get gas back down. That nigga stabbed up.
Pretty sure that's not.
I miss gas being like 75 cents. Remember, y'all niggas probably even old enough to remember when gas was not even $1 yet, a gallon.
No, when I think I remember around $1.
I remember when gas was like
No, I remember gas
like
was
$1,
under a fucking
yeah.
dollar. When you give a nigga $5, you're like, nigga, what you doing? That's too much. Like, what the fuck where you think we going? Nigga, like, I got you, son. Like, nah, don't worry about
you
that.
had $10, nigga, you
Nigga,
right.
you can ride.
Nigga,
You can
fill that
ride,
tank
bro.
up
You
on
can
like
ride.
$3. I'm like, here's
Don't
some
let it be
change.
$100.
Son, I got you, son. Where you going? You trying to go to New York? All right, New York. Niggas give me $5 for gas.
Exactly.
They be riding
Exactly.
from Monk's Corner, just chilling. Drop you. How you doing, son? You good? We got fuck out of here, son.
When I first started dropping
I got
gas, it was $5, and I had a Grand Cherokee.
Listen,
Nigga.
let me know who the fuck.
First started driving
$5
because that's when that
$5,
hurricane
yeah.
came around. You was
Yeah.
driving when that hurricane came? Damn, that's terrible.
It was
I'm
awful.
sorry. I mean, when I first started driving, gas was like $1.20.
Yeah, nah.
So I was filling up my little '88 Chevy Celebrity, and I was all over the place, doing all type of random shit that I probably shouldn't have been doing. Fucking in the backseat of my car, all type of shit.
I did that.
Backseat bangers,
Yo, you know what's
baby.
crazy? Like, I've never fucked in my Impala, son.
You bugging. I think I fucked
I fucked
in
in
your
everybody
They're
else's
really
car.
good.
Nigga, I think I fucked in your Impala.
What?
No, you didn't.
I'm done.
Damn.
I'm
I
done.
probably did.
I'm done.
How this nigga fucking your car? You ain't fucking your car.
Is that slightly disrespectful?
No, it's not.
No?
I'm trying to
Okay.
think. Like, nah, I've never fucked in my car. I fucked in my sister's car.
Exactly.
I fucked in my car.
That's disrespectful.
It's
No,
not.
it's not. No, it's not.
Well,
Ain't nobody got time for no hotels.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we still went to the hotel with. Right.
I ain't got time for that. Backseat bangers, baby.
Yeah, it's like
That's what I do. These
Couple-
seats lean way
like
back.
a couple weeks
ain't
ago,
no space
but
back
we're not
there.
gonna.
Not in my Mazda, but guess what?
Ain't
I
got
still
high.
got it popping in my Mazda.
Hey.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, just move your leg. That's all you gotta do. Moving on. So yeah, I didn't want to talk about no depression shit, but we do need to address this shit that happened. What was it, like a week ago or a couple days ago? So what was it, Jacksonville, Florida? They had a Madden tournament. Everybody likes Madden tournaments.
Oh,
This shit
shit,
is
yeah.
dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is what it is. Like, niggas get passionate. Like, it's been plenty of times that, you know, I don't, you know, ran the whole house and niggas be like, man, fuck that shit, man. I bet you can't see me outside. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Don't get fucked up in here. Like, me and my niggas will jump.
So I wasn't there for that.
Oh, no, this before I knew you, because I'm like, yeah, you will get jumped.
I would just be like,
Like, I'll fuck you up. Like,
but why?
because niggas be passionate. So this is what happens. They have a Madden tournament, and I'm pretty sure. I guess they probably have it like all the time. I would think it's annual. And you know, this white dude. I'm gonna just throw it out there because he is a white dude.
He is.
He lost, right? You know, took his L, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Comes back, goes to his car, comes back, and then proceeds to shoot up the Madden tournament because you lost, not because of anything else. Like out of all the reasons to shoot up some shit. That is the weakest shit I've ever heard. I'm like, damn, bro, like, you wild pussy.
So another thing to add, he was actually the people that he shot. He
Mhm.
was targeting them. So the guy
Yeah.
that he won last year's tournament
Mhm.
apparently and beat him out. So this year when he lost to this guy, he was one of the people that got targeted, and then there was another guy who beat him as well, and he also got targeted. So it wasn't even just I quote unquote snap because they love to use that. No, he meant to do exactly what he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
think he
knew
was prepared
exactly
for that
what was
because
going
he went
on.
to his car and came straight back. So
So it makes me wonder,
I
nigga,
think
if you
nigga
would
beat
have
him
won,
like the year
then what?
before or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
probably
I
still
think-
shut it up. I don't know.
So what really bothers me is anytime, and of course it's all over social media, but anytime you see this, it's always like, oh, his family life was difficult. Oh, he was just hospitalized for mental illnesses and all this other stuff. And then you turn around and
That's how it was a white dude.
that's how you know, right? Because when you see black men going to jail for violence or whatever the case may or may not be, nobody talks about how in their neighborhood they see dead bodies on the regular. Nobody talks about how in their neighborhood is literally a war zone. If you want to talk about somebody that's damaged from their childhood, talk about somebody who done grew up and seen a body once a month or twice a month at the very least. Talk about somebody who's been told on so many occasions either get with us or die. Not some, his parents got divorced. I mean, everybody got their struggles, but come on, bro.
I'm like, nigga, I ain't had both of my parents in my life.
That's what I be trying to say. Like,
Like,
I
I
ain't never
got-
had a two-parent home.
I'm
I ain't
like,
never killed
the fuck?
nobody.
I ain't had my mama or my daddy, so I'm like, shit.
I had a
biggest
rough
problem with that
childhood.
shit- My biggest problem with this shit was the whole mental illness. They try to say he had a mental
Every
illness.
time
Right.
they do that, yo.
But if it had
We
been
all got a mental
somebody of
illness.
Muslim descent, the first
Yeah.
thing I would say was
Yeah.
terrorist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or if it
Yeah.
was black or Latino, or he a thug or
But
whatever.
they always claim mental illness based on how they're brought up, like their background.
But
But
you
you can
could've
still
had-
use that
He
defense
probably,
for any other person.
Asperger's or something. It's not even a real serious mental. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not. It's another form of
but I know,
autism.
but
that's
like
true.
they're gonna sit there and like say anything is mental
Yeah,
illness.
that's true.
Basically, you know
He
what
was
I'm saying?
depressed. All this other.
Well, I
Anybody
mean,
can be anybody can be depressed.
that doesn't make it right, and that's what we're trying to. That's basically what we're trying to say. Like, you don't get any, passes because you did
You
some
don't.
shit like that. Like, no, you still did a fucking heinous
A
crime
horrible crime. People
Like,
have
come on,
lost
dog.
they lost their family member. They lost
Over
their
a
brother.
game.
Over a game.
Right.
It wasn't even no real beef. Like, this is game beef. Like, come on.
I don't know
now.
if people even listened to that video when they were playing, when they were streaming and you heard the
Nah,
gunshot.
I didn't. I
didn't
couldn't.
watch
I
it.
didn't
I'm not,
want to.
bro. I don't want to listen and watch shit like that no more, bro. I'm done on that shit, dog.
Man, that shit was like
I couldn't even.
It was like so.
But you know why? Because I've been around shootouts, so I know how it sounds. So I mean, I don't need to listen to that no more. I already suffer from shit like that now. Like I've gotten numb to the fact when people be shooting around me. So and that's not good.
Yeah.
Like I should be like, oh, I should be on high alert. Now I'm just like, nah, we ain't got no beef, so he ain't shooting at me. So I'm just gonna keep pushing. That's how I, look at shit now, and that's bad. But you know what I'm saying? Like I know because it was on Twitch, and they said, I think they took the video down, but
Yeah, I seen it on World Star, but it was like it was some just niggas was playing, and then you just hear gunshots, and then dude was like, I don't know what he hit me with. Dude, one of the guys I guess shot, he was like, man, I don't know what he hit me with, and this, that, and the third. Yeah. And you heard like 5 more shots, and you heard somebody in the background screaming for their life, like they was in some real pain. Like that shit was some terrifying.
Well, you gotta think about it. A lot of these motherfuckers be playing games, man. They really don't be about no smoking life, yo. They chilling. They play games. You know what I'm saying? How them like a good portion will be nerds and shit. Like they just play games because that's what they good at. That's what they do. They ain't looking for no confrontations and nobody to fight and ready for somebody to shoot.
Yeah, but that shit's getting crazy. I mean, mental illness. Like I have seen people like playing video games stuff. They get real serious and stuff. Yo, I'm gonna come kill your family. They be doing that shit all the time.
But bro, they not really about that
but
life.
Who knows now? It's like nobody knows no more. You know
that's cool. How about this?
I
I had a whole live dude tell me he was gonna come down from Cleveland, Ohio, to fight me because I beat his ass playing UFC. And I was like, okay, if you come down here, I'm not gonna fight. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna shoot the fuck out of you. Like the fuck you think this is?
I just feel like it's
but that's the scary thing. Like he didn't even. I don't even think he threatened them. He just did the shit. Like when he lost, he didn't say I'm gonna kill you or do this and that. He just went and got his shit and started shooting motherfuckers. Like nobody saw that coming.
To lose more and people shouldn't get
Thank
participation
you.
trophies.
You gotta learn. I teach my nephews. You gotta learn how to lose before you learn to win.
You do.
Because if you don't know how losing. That's why I be seeing like the NBA and sports now. These niggas been the top nigga in their high school and college. And they get to the league and they trash and they it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. Like no nigga, you trash, nigga. Like fuck out of here. And like I want to say one thing about like we talk about the whole mental health thing. This is my thing about like the mental health shit. I feel like this is due to my job. I think he got like Asperger's or whatever, and he's like a little bit tweaked or whatever. But he does shit at work because he knows that people at work are not gonna try him, and he know he can get away with it.
Oh yeah, often.
But I be telling him no, like yo, I gotta stop treating him like he's a little kid or some shit and talk to him crazy because he's smart enough that he got his own car. He drives, got his own crib, everything like that. Man,
obviously he's doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you. But y'all talk to him and he be giving them hugs, trying to get some boob feel. I'm like, if I'd have tried that shit, I'd be wrong as shit. Like, they try to touch my... You know what I'm saying? They be like treating him like he like a fucking little kid and shit.
He's smart enough to be playing these people out here like
exactly.
that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo.
When people hear Asperger's and autism, like that doesn't make you slow.
Yeah, thank you. Because if you try the shit you try at work at Food Lion, somebody gonna fuck you up. And I be telling people like, yo, like, cause he like did some shit to me. I was like, I'm about the 2-piece nigga. I'm like, I be telling him like, I let him know like, Hank. I ain't gonna say his name, but nigga, I will fuck you up. Like you don't know. Like I don't give a fuck what you got. Like I'll beat your fucking ass in here. And like, cause he do fuck shit and he'll come and apologize. I'm like, he came to apologize because he know he did some fuck shit. So like, you're not gonna just apologize when you think you didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what the fuck you doing out here. I will beat your fucking ass, yo. Like, and he's like, oh no, Jai, it's not that. Like, yeah, it is that. Like, don't get fucked up in here. Right. So now he don't really try me like that. Cause he almost tried to get me fired. Like, on some real shit, he tried to get me fired. So I was like, son, I will fuck you up in the parking lot. Like, I don't care. No, I apologize. Like, yeah, cause you know you're wrong. That's why you apologizing, you know.
Damn.
Well, don't try to use the Asperger card on me, cause I'm gonna whoop your Asperger. I don't give a fuck, man.
I was waiting for it. I knew something was about to happen.
But I want to say this about the mental illness thing that people were saying for people with like they trying to get gun right activists or whatever. They want people to take psych exams before they buy guns.
I fully support that.
But here's the thing: how do you support private sellers? What is that? I can sell you a gun. I don't give a fuck if you crazy or not. You got $300.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. In order to do that, you would have to eliminate private sales, which I don't quite rightly understand. Why you? How is it logical to have private sales where no one can oversee anything of a weapon that could kill someone? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but here's the thing though: if you like give somebody a psych test before they get a weapon or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, down the road, some other shit can happen. You still go crazy. It doesn't matter.
Down the road.
Down the road is down the road, but at the moment,
point,
you should be able to
take.
But I feel like most of these people,
the same way you have to renew your driver's license, and they do an eye test and all of that.
Yeah.
You should. It's not hard to
that makes
enforce.
sense. But like, I feel like some of these people is like, it's like that have shot up a place or have killed people like that. They already have the guns already. That's why I think. Like, they didn't have to go through no psych tests before they got the guns, and they already have.
Well, of course not, because we ain't got no psych tests now.
Yeah,
but
in the state of Georgia they do one, but it's not too stringent.
Do y'all hate niggers?
But that's my whole point.
We kind of do.
There's no point.
It's like, you have a
they
gun.
can't do anything about the private sales. There's no point in having a psych test before. Because if I know I might fail that psych test, why would I even go
try
do it? I would just buy a gun from somebody private and give them the cash.
Have to control the private sales as well.
Right. So there's no point in doing it if you can't control the private sales.
And even if you enacted a law, even if a law was enacted federally, those states still have the right to enforce it however they see fit. And I don't see Texas, Florida, Georgia. I don't see any of people south of the Mason-Dixon line supporting that.
Niggas love guns down here.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Love it.
They
Absolutely
love
it.
just.
I really don't know why.
I want my guns. Why?
Lots of them.
And they never have a reason because I'm out here by myself.
Because the goddamn Constitution of the United States of America told me I can shoot a motherfucker in the eye.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, the reason why this shit's in the Constitution because niggas used to have to get shot, shoot bears and shit. When last time you shot a bear?
Well, this is my
Mexican 2 weeks ago. God damn it.
This is my theory about it, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but a lot of the South was in the Confederacy, and in order for them not to abide by laws from the U.S. and the Union at the time, they had to arm themselves and start a war. So maybe they feel like because their ancestors were part of the Confederacy, they feel like if they give up their guns, they give up their right to defend themselves or oppose the government. They do some shit that they don't like.
In the South, a lot of gun owners. First of all, they own quite a bit, and they usually have like a lot of land. They're often practicing. There's usually like a bunker that they have somewhere off the property. Like it's not just guns. Like they are prepared for war.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
and they're usually the color of mayonnaise.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that. That's why I said gun owners, but the
majority. I'm not gonna say it's true, but
yeah. Unfortunately.
But the most I can say, R.I.P. to the people that were lost.
Absolutely, and condolences to the family.
Yeah, because nobody deserves it.
It's unnecessary. Absolutely insane.
It's video games. That's the one thing you should feel comfortable.
If he gets charged with anything less than capital murder, like that was premeditated.
Yeah, that is premeditated. Like you went back to your car to get a gun that you already had. Yeah, so that's premeditated.
I don't.
Well, what up? Did he kill himself?
Yeah.
He died.
Okay. I thought they said that.
It was 3 victims and he died.
And he died? Oh, well.
Everybody else was just like shot.
Capital murder, capital crime.
Fucking, that's wild. I mean, I hate staying on negative shit, but I also like to look at the opposite of a lot of things. I saw a video of I guess it was Winston-Salem resident. These I thought it was a dude at first, but apparently lesbian chick, whatever it is. And she was around like 3 kids, and they were all like not even like 3 years old, and she just out here passing weed to them.
I think I heard about that, but I didn't.
They all smoking weed.
I saw the video.
Yeah, and I'm just looking, and it like, all right.
Everybody don't have the same stance on weed, yo.
That's true. Everybody doesn't.
They don't.
Because
but let's keep it
funky. I'm gonna let you rock, but then let me say what I gotta say.
Let's keep it funky. As a child, like if you like 14, 15 years old, you can make certain decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make decisions about what you know might want to do. Even though you're still a minor, you're not an adult yet, but you'll know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You have right mind to sound like to see. Okay, this is what I know what it'll do. I'm making this decision. You know, I get in trouble. It is what it is. When you are a baby, you don't have no fucking choice. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Right. Mind you, I don't think weed is a bad drug at all. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, I used to smoke hella weed. But I'm not going to give weed to no kids. I'm not giving weed to no babies. You know what I'm saying? That's wildly reckless. Because I'm like, it starts with weed. When does it end when it comes to that person? You know what I'm saying? Then we don't know if your weed is laced or not. You might be one of them motherfuckers who like to smoke them booms. So, for all we know, you might be out here smoking weed laced with coke and shit. And then you might be like, well, I pop pills. It's okay if they pop some pills too. Like, where does it end when you have that mindset like, okay, I'm going to let these kids smoke weed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This is my thing. Like, I agree with everything you said because those are babies.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think they should go to jail. I think they should put them under jail.
Actually, and we're going to get to that part too. But
beat them the fuck up. But we just came to a decision in my family. Like, this is real talk I'm doing right now. Like, my nephew, you know Scurry. I've been knew he's smoking weed, but he's 16. He's in high school. He smoke weed.
Exactly.
My family gonna be like, oh nigga, what the fuck are you doing? Like he's making conscious decision that he wants to smoke weed. He got older brothers that smoke weed. I've tried it enough times to know I don't like it, and I still try it every once in a while to make sure I still don't like it. Like I still don't like this shit, nigga. Fuck this shit. I don't see how y'all niggas do this shit. That nigga's dumb. But yeah, but it's like I don't have no quarrels against it. If you're old enough to make the conscious decision to do it, then do it. I just don't like I don't want him smoking the cigar part of it, the tobacco part of it.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna vape it or you're gonna do whatever, do papers or whatever, yeah. But I just feel like they're wrong because those are babies that don't know. They don't know how to say no. They know how to say no, but they don't know they're doing the wrong thing.
They don't.
Give somebody a chance. Like, do somebody, like, if you're going to hand somebody a blunt, hey, nigga, you growing up to hit this? Yeah, nigga, like, don't get on little babies and shit like that. Like, I feel like they should be punished to the most they can be punished for that shit. Because that's fucking child endangerment. These little babies aren't even grown enough to do anything yet.
They're not.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I agree with you, but if you're old enough to make these decisions, you should be able to decide, like, I want to smoke weed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the first time, I can tell you, the first time I smoked some weed, I was like 22. I was never I'm still not a big weed addict. I do some edibles, them shits is dumb good, but other than that, like, I'm not really, I don't like the way they make your brain feel. They make your brain feel weird, like.
So.
But I like being drunk, because when I'm drunk, I'm like, yeah, I'm smooth. I'm gonna fuck all these chicks out here.
Now, I want to say something about that, because I agree that the person should be locked up or whatever. But I've heard some people say, like, they've seen kids who've had seizures who suffer from that. And their parents gave them cannabis oil, pure THC.
That's
And
that is something
and that
was different on that.
No, I'm saying, I'm just telling you what they say. I agree, but
no, I'm not against.
It's something that hasn't been proven, that technically hasn't been proven by so-called doctors or whatever to be what they say it is. It's basically like independent researchers, because it's not funded by doctors or anything.
It can't be legally.
Right, but it still works. So, but the children who are using it are, you know, they're basically kids. They're 10 and under. I've seen 6-year-olds who've had seizures and their parents have given it to them. Not being prescribed by a doctor. Is that still child endangerment? Even though it's not. Hold on. Let me
I thought you were done.
So
calm down.
I'm still talking.
I was like, I got shit to talk about.
Right, so what I'm saying is that
what you say better be awesome.
Is that still considered child endangerment because they gave their child a non-prescribed drug, which is still weed, pure cannabis oil or whatever, to so-called succumb their seizures?
No. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Seizures.
Well, here's the thing though, like, there's a difference between smoking something. Smoking it, you know, has a lot of different health effects and stuff. But like when it comes to like oils and all that kind of stuff, I think it's weird. It's a little bit different
I want to say
on the intake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little bit safer. You there's less repercussions from actually.
Because they was taking, I
Taking
know the one you was talking about. They were taking the oil and rubbing it on his feet. It wasn't rolling a blunt like his. I don't like the tobacco.
Nah, it wasn't
part
just
of
that
it.
one. I've seen multiple ones.
No, I'm
where
just
they
saying,
get
like, I
bumped.
don't
Okay.
like the tobacco aspect of it. Like, if you rolling papers or you hitting a bong or something, like, you just getting the pure THC, yeah. I personally don't like the fucking tobacco I'm fucking up.
Tobacco
Thank you.
aspect.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah,
damn.
yes.
That's why I love you. Like, yeah, I don't like the tobacco aspect of it because I just don't like tobacco. Like, I just feel like it's a
So-
toxic system.
This is like Josh, to answer your question a little bit further. The main difference in that whole scenario is those babies, they ain't had no ailments or nothing. They were just giving them weed because they thought that shit was funny. Like it was,
Yeah,
like
those
it was
are the
cute.
dicks. Those are the
Yeah,
dicks.
they was putting it on live and all that shit. But I've seen situations where there are kids who suffer from seizures and things like that. If it's helping them, yeah, I'm all for that. And that's their parents doing their research, studying what they need to study, looking into what they're looking into. So, you know what I'm saying, they know exactly what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But if you just a bunch of motherfuckers just giving these little babies weed just because you think it's funny, you know what I'm saying? And then the way them kids was hitting that blunt, I'm like,
Yo,
y'all
one,
done this a
one
couple
hit
times.
through the nose. Yo.
Yes,
she,
I'm like,
she swallowed it and blew through the nose. I was like, what the fuck? I
I'm like,
can't do that.
I'm like, you've been doing this shit
So,
way
like,
too long. So
she,
I'm like,
she was
I
like,
do
the
feel
little kid was
like-
like, it blew through. I was like, yo,
I do
nah.
feel like that in and of itself is, for me, that's just unacceptable. Because again, smoking does have different repercussions, especially on a body that's so small. You know,
Exactly.
they're so underdeveloped. But when it comes to the stance of parents, you know, giving their children prescribed THC and all that
It's
stuff,
not prescribed.
or unprescribed THC
Okay,
and
you can give
whatnot.
CBD
So,
oil.
No, it's
so the issue
THC in
is
it.
I know, but it's the same thing.
people have like I feel like
But some
THC
CBD
got
oil don't
such
have
a
THC. Like, not all of it has THC in it.
That's rare.
No, they have CBD oil with non-THC in it. You can get it at the smoke shop. Here.
okay.
Same difference. Whatever.
But I feel like there's so much uproar around parents who do that, right? Because it's quote unquote illegal.
Mm.
No one has that much uproar around parents who don't vaccinize their children. That's their quote unquote God-given right. Even though you're putting so many other children at risk, so many other people at risk for not vaccinating, that's still their God-given right, right? Not only that, but cannabis oil, THC, all that, I highly doubt that it has the effects on a child that some of these antipsychotic meds have. Okay,
Definitely
there are meds that are, these certain meds are considered quote unquote tier 2. So a tier 2 medication is basically on the level of cocaine, if I'm not mistaken, right? So when children come into the emergency room, if they come in with mental illnesses or whatever, they may be acting crazy, maybe they threaten to kill themselves or whatever. If they don't calm down, doctors are authorized to give them these kinds of medications. These medications are known to get children hooked, and you're putting this in their body prior to them even hitting puberty, right? So even if it is a chemical imbalance, let's say it is a chemical imbalance because they love to say that. These children haven't even leveled out chemically yet. They haven't hit puberty yet. Your frontal lobe doesn't even fully form until you're 25, but you're giving these kids drugs that are on the level of cocaine, but then you jumping down somebody's throat because they want to give their child unprescribed THC. So I don't, from a legal standpoint, from a government standpoint, it's never an issue of endangering a child. That's never the issue. We live in a capitalistic society, and it's about what you can make money off of. And the truth of the matter is, you can grow THC. The drugs that they make in the labs, you can't, and they make money off of it. That's it. They don't give a damn about child
Yeah,
well-being.
what it comes down to basically is like we're not in control of our own freedom, essentially, because
No.
you have all these things that are illegal and stuff like that, but really it's up to you as a person to decide if you want to use it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the government tells you can't do it, basically. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do it. It's illegal. You go to jail for that. But who has a right to determine what I do with my life, basically? You know what I'm saying?
So I agree
So-
with that to a certain extent. I feel
Yeah,
like
I
they
mean,
have
yeah,
the
there
right-
has to be control.
There has
Listen,
to be control.
there has to
Yes,
be. Don't get me
yes.
wrong.
You
Don't get me
can't
wrong. There
out
has to
here
be
like,
control. But here's the thing.
I'm
It's
gonna do
like,
some meth today.
but you
Like,
can't just, yeah. But you can't
Wait
just
a
make
second.
some shit
I'm just
illegal.
gonna meth
You
it
can't
out
make
today.
you can't make some shit illegal because you can't profit off it.
And then
You
you
know
I
what
know
I'm
mean,
the
saying?
but
method man.
you're right. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I
That's
mean,
what happens.
It's
quote
power.
unquote free market, free world. You know?
But are we going to get to the point where we're saying that THC is the way to prescribe to children like
I
that,
think-
not prescription drugs.
I think it'll get to a point where I don't see them being able to argue the point of not prescribing it to children when they prescribe other medications that are way worse. I don't see how
I
they
think the
can
only way they can say
justify
that is if they've done, if they have sanctioned research to do it, and not through
Yeah.
independent, because
Yeah.
that can be biased for one.
But that means it has to be legalized on the federal level, which
Yeah.
it will be because there's too much money to be made to not
Man, we've
legalize it
been
on the
sitting
federal
there
level.
waiting on that shit. So
Oh, it's
whatever.
coming,
All right.
slowly but surely.
Oh,
I believe it when I see
It's
it.
coming.
It's-
Colorado made
it's-
$9 million in the first year off
Like I
taxes
said, I
alone.
believe it when I see it. I'm not
And the
gonna-
crime rate dropped like what 18%.
I believe it'll happen. I'm just kind of not gonna.
Son, it's gonna happen.
It's
I
coming.
believe it when I see
It's
it.
gonna happen.
It's coming.
I mean, look, there was a time where alcohol.
They voted it.
was-
It was on the bill for South Carolina recently.
Yeah, like
yeah.
yeah,
You once it hit the South, it's a wrap.
pretty much.
It's coming.
Nigga.
It was
For
a
real.
time
Yeah.
where unwedded sex was illegal, and we fucking.
That's true. Interracial
All that shit. So
marriage and everything
But-
else. It's
That's
coming.
where the term
Slowly but
"fuck" come
surely.
from. For
But that
unlawful carnal
wasn't a
knowledge.
product they was making money off of. It was just like something that they
somebody was
believed
making
in.
money off of it.
We talking about-
Somebody making money off
Interracial
fucking
marriage.
Prostitution.
I was talking about fucking.
no,
Yeah,
however,
Prostitution.
I was talking
they
about
do make
fucking.
money on the back end when they get divorces and stuff. So
That ain't shit.
I
I'm talking
mean,
about
it's money
you can
for
make so much
somebody.
more money. That's like something that happens years down the line where you can make money on the daily, every day, every hour.
I feel like this, if you're gonna use a good example, then again you will go back to alcohol.
But the
yeah,
only reason they made alcohol legal is because the mafia was making so much money off of it.
Yeah.
that's the point.
Whoever made more money than government.
Somebody gonna
Yeah,
make money
that's it.
at the end of the day.
Motherfuckers been making
Nigga,
money off of
when
you
they-
before,
when they-
way
I
before the government
promise
even thought
you.
about.
This was going on for
Well,
the weed shit. You know how much it costs just to get the paperwork to get a fucking
Dispensary.
it's dispensary.
It's like $25,000.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They want the rich people to continue being rich.
yeah, it's $25,000, and you can't have a.
So in LA, the Crips, they got their own dispensary. The Crips. These niggas not even a legal fucking company.
I love it.
But the thing is, it's like the fucking the banks are not taking dispensary
can't
money.
take the money.
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah,
Which
so
creates another
niggas
opening
was
on the
robbing
black
the
market.
fucking dispensaries.
Yeah,
and fucking like you had like the feds coming in and taking money and shit. Like, no, you're not running up on the Crips and like, nigga, give me your money. No, y'all give us y'all money now. They got niggas outside with the chopper like, we good out here.
that's exactly.
Like,
how they
son,
think
like
it's
I'm
supposed to be good
dead
at.
ass serious. Like I'm not lying. So like niggas like
It's gonna get to a point where
They-
to where
yeah, they
Walmart
might
gonna have like the bubble kush. You gonna be really like, I'm going to
I
Walmart.
believe it when I
It's
see
slowly
it.
but surely.
I feel
but
like
it's
this
coming.
job-
Change is slow in America because
gotta
of
think about
I'm
it.
not saying it's not gonna happen. I just
Yeah.
said I believe it when I see it.
son, I feel like this. You gonna see it soon.
When I see it, I believe it. That's all I'm
But
saying.
I feel like this. The fact that we
But
got
government workers are still not gonna be able to smoke.
Yeah, of course.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I ain't worrying about that. But I'm just saying
You
like
talking about when it becomes federally legal?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, because at the end of the day, they're gonna say we're still impaired.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can't be fucked up at work.
Yeah.
Who said I want to
Well,
work for the
that's just
government
like
when it comes
alcohol.
to it? I'll be out of
Maybe
it.
we
I
can
won't
do
be
it.
working for the government.
I mean, if that's
we
the
doing
case-
some other shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
fuck
saying. No, I'm not saying you, but
I'm
I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
people.
Oh, that's
If
their
you
problem. I'm
still
not
gonna
trying to work
keep
for the
going-
government when it becomes legal, so they can deal with that. I'm trying to move on to bigger
Well,
and better things.
Now I'm trying to get this 25 racks together so we can all get this fucking dispensary popping.
I can
That
do
sounds
that.
like a good
I got a
idea.
motherfucking GA loan, nigga.
Okay,
Exactly.
shut
Like,
up,
come
shut
on,
up
come
then.
on, man. Should be
Let
You
y'all
gonna-
know,
yeah.
y'all better be ready.
again. You're gonna believe it because you're gonna see it.
I'm saying,
You
yeah,
gonna see
that's
it,
when
dog.
That's when I'll.
I'm saying y'all better be
Believe
ready.
it.
I buy this, man. The way the world been going lately,
Famous
man.
dispensary,
it's-
nigga.
I don't see why it wouldn't, man. It's slowly
Shit's
but
legal
surely going
everywhere
to that
else
wave
except
right
That's
now.
coming.
Like for real, like we
We
didn't
need
even
the
think it was
money.
gonna be legal
We
in
need
some
the money.
states. Like
Jobs.
we didn't
America
know
needs the money.
exactly. Like nigga, we broke.
I'm gonna be out there, nigga.
Every other
Exactly.
country is like.
But back to the two ladies. So they did. They ended up getting arrested.
Good.
They're in jail, right?
Yeah, I seen that.
And they talking about
Stupid
throwing
as
them
well.
45 years, right?
Yeah.
How did they?
Exactly. This is the flip side I was gonna
It's
bring up.
illegal.
What was
Drug
the
and-
charge?
Child endangerment and all that shit.
And it's
Giving a
illegal.
minor tobacco with a non-controlled substance. So this is the flip side. Do motherfuckers feel like that's a real harsh crime? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, yeah, I feel like you should still go to jail. But 45 years is
That's a life.
extremely harsh.
Like I said, like I feel minus the weed, you're still giving kids tobacco.
Okay.
You can't even smoke a cigarette in a car
Now,
with a kid in the backseat in South Carolina. You
here
go
is the flip side on that whole
directly
situation.
to jail.
There was a white lady in the daycare who hung a kid, and she got probation.
No, that was all white privilege. We know that.
And that's what we're trying
That's
to
what
get.
I was gonna say about that's going back to the whole with the kids with seizures.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, and they give them non-prescribed THC, even if it's in a droplet, why they don't have that same energy for her giving her child?
Yeah, they should.
An illegal substance. Still
no,
illegal.
no. That's something. I
I'm
feel
not
like that's
talking
different.
about me personally.
Hold up, is the drug legal or not?
Son,
No, I'm saying is the drug legal
no,
or
it's
not?
not.
I don't
Okay,
know.
that's
what
bottom
they-
line.
Okay, but this is the thing.
I don't know
You're
what
giving
it
them.
is.
It doesn't matter about your intent.
No.
The drug is
If
illegal.
some kids, you're just giving them weed to smoke because you think it's funny.
I'm not
It's
talking
not helping them. It's
I'm
not
not talking
helping
about
them.
the
I'm
actual
not-
drug
I'm not
itself.
talking
It's
about-
I
illegal.
think he's
She
talking
should
about
pay
from
some
a-
kind of repercussions.
from
She
a
couldn't get off scot free.
Legals.
I'm talking about the legality of what she's doing.
Me personally, I'm mad about the
That's not-
tobacco. They had it rolling a blunt.
I understand that, but I'm not
You know what
talking
I'm
about
saying?
if it's tobacco or if
But
it's
you
what.
give your kid
I'm
like
talking about the
you
actual.
said. Listen. You said like I told you the one I seen with the kid. They was rubbing the oil on his feet. Yeah, that's a good way to ingest it. I don't want to see little kids fucking smoking tobacco. That shit is addictive as fuck.
So they won't get addicted to it if they ingest it any other way?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't
And then
think
I don't
so.
see what's the
That it
problem.
But
can
we
be
don't.
happening.
No, but I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So we can't say this. They're
But-
not. You don't think they're not. We don't know.
Okay, so
But
what do you
they're still
think?
endangering
No,
the child by
I'm
giving them
not- listen,
tobacco.
I'm not talking about tobacco. I'm talking about
You
weed,
still
THC.
talking about the weed.
The,
But
the weed is rolled
okay.
in a blunt.
This is what you're not getting though, Josh. Those kids who were getting it, there's nothing wrong with them. They have no ailments, there's nothing going on, right? If I'm giving my kid this because I know it's helping them, right? That's a whole different vibe. Now, should I still get charged if you feel that way? Okay, that's fine. But I'm helping my kids. I'm not just out here posting shit online like,
That's
hey,
what I'm
watch
saying. No.
watch these kids smoke this blunt because I think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? That's
That's not
the
what I'm
difference.
saying, though. I'm just saying she
What are
needs
you
to face
saying?
some kind of repercussion.
Who?
The lady who gave her child the
Why? Did it help the child? Is the child okay?
It doesn't matter. If the substance is illegal, it doesn't matter if the child snorts the cocaine or injects it, it's still fucking cocaine.
But that's a whole different vibe. Now, I mean,
It doesn't matter
now,
how
this
it's
is a
injected.
slippery slope now.
No, it's not, because
Yes,
the
it
substance is illegal. Is
Not
THC
post
legal or
that shit
not?
online.
Son,
I was about to say, if it's from a legal standpoint and it's illegal, then they should both be
That's
charged.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about the
let's
legality.
put
You're
it-
talking
put
about
it
the
aside,
moral.
put it
Yeah,
aside.
that's
I'm not
like-
talking about morality.
Where
I'm
the
talking
fuck
about
where
legality.
are they where they give these kids the blunt?
They're in the house.
Does anybody know what state
I
it
never
is?
It was in North
seen the
Carolina.
video.
it's
But
in Winston
see,
Salem.
you're talking about
Right.
morality. I'm not talking about morality. I'm talking about legality. The substance they gave me is illegal. That's
Okay.
what I'm talking about.
So you're
So
okay.
send their asses
It doesn't have
down.
anything to
Okay.
do with the child.
I agree with that.
That's
Okay,
what I'm
I
talking
agree with you on
about.
that then, if that's the case.
Send
So,
their asses down.
when that kid's still having them seizures, what now?
Then that's when you talk to the politicians and have them change the state law so that that can be legal from here on
But
out.
that
one
child has,
person?
but that child has to suffer
For one
because of
person?
that.
Yes.
No, they don't.
Why
I
not?
mean,
'Cause
they
I feel like
don't,
this.
the child
My
doesn't
sister-
have to
what do you mean?
suffer.
I feel like this. My sister
Legally,
has
somebody
seizures.
still breaks the law. So legally,
Yeah, it
somebody
doesn't
still has to
matter
be held
if the child
responsible.
is suffering,
Like,
right? If the
if you're
substance
willing
is
to break the
legal.
law, that's
Okay.
that's
I don't know the
fine.
You're breaking
argument.
the law,
I'm
you're breaking
fucking
the law. It
confused
doesn't
as
matter.
fuck. What's
Basically,
the
you're trying to
argument?
say
He's just
because
arguing if it's illegal,
THC.
you need to be
It's 'cause it's so
charged.
legal. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
on either way. If it's
And I get that
illegal,
part.
you're charged.
That's all I've been saying. Y'all taking
No,
it to
no,
something
no,
else.
no,
I'm
no,
not
No, we're
even
not.
talking
But
about
we're
it.
trying to figure out what you're trying to get at with this.
I already said that the legality of the substance is illegal. They
All right,
I
hold
supposed
on.
to.
and I understand that.
This is my little thing. If everybody's like, oh, it's legal now in California, they should let the people out that was no, it was legal when they got arrested. Stay your ass in jail. You
They
should have had
actually
it.
just decided that they're going to start doing that in California.
And that's cool, but I'm saying at the time you got arrested, it was illegal. I can't be like, yeah, murder a nigga. Like, oh, murder is cool now. Like, oh, well, let me out.
That's actually not true. There are a lot of people that get their even murder convictions overturned because the defense that they wanted to argue back in that time period wasn't allowed, but now it is, and they get to re-argue their case. More specifically, like battered woman syndrome and stuff like that. A lot of women who ended up like killing their husbands or significant others or whatever that got locked up for sometimes life or whatever, they get to go back and re-argue their case with that defense because now it's legal.
Listen, If I punch you and you stab me, it's still not the same. I don't give a fuck how it
I'm
is.
just telling you, legally, people
I
have been doing this
can't
for
right
years.
hook
It's not
you
just
and
weed.
you stab me
It's
in
not
the
just
neck and
this.
like, oh, take this bitch
Like,
to jail.
I think
The
people
courts
get
have always
morality
been
and
allowing
legality
appeals.
confused, and it's
I
two
don't.
different. It's two different things.
I don't get it confused. I see what you're saying, and I get exactly what you're saying. I agree with you, but you always have to look at it. So,
It's legal in DC.
but I mean, again, I'm a parent. You know what I'm saying? My son or daughter is having seizures, because this is one thing that I'm doing. I'm having empathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to be able to empathize. I have a sister. You've met my sister, Bianca.
Yeah.
She had seizures. You know what I'm saying? If you've never seen somebody have a seizure, that is the scariest thing in the world happening. And I used to see that shit day in, day out, night after night. So if there was something that we could have did to help her for something like that, and, you know, THC oil, whatever it is, would have did it, I guarantee my family would have did that, regardless, right? And if they would have gotten in trouble for it, they would have been like, fuck it, I'll do it again and again and again and again.
Okay, now hold on. Here's my thing. So when you get in trouble
it,
for it, you have to do years. Who's going to look out of that child the next time they have seizure? If you're locked up.
but what if
Ain't no what if. If you get locked up for giving your child something illegal, then who's going to look after that child when you're locked up?
That child is going straight to fucking foster care.
Exactly. So then they want to have seizures, and the next person ain't going to give a fuck about it.
But everything.
So why not go somewhere where it's legal and you won't have to worry about it?
now, there's always the flip side to what you said. There's two sides to that coin. You can die, in certain situations when you're having a seizure. So you going through all that, and then you have that seizure, you die, and it's like, well, the oil was working. I think we're gonna play devil's advocate. It's a slippery slope. That's what I'm trying to say.
There's no slippery slope when it comes to the law.
You say that, but again, we're arguing.
The law is
we're arguing.
No,
law,
but I'm saying
and
there's nothing slippery
morality.
slope about something that's in black and white.
Right.
If something's illegal and it's in black and white, there's what is your argument?
Let's just use
I mean, shit. How many of us actually follow the law?
What if it's used to
And,
save
how many,
life?
and if we don't follow the law, we
I'm
get
not saying
caught.
that doesn't make it a good
So
argument.
So if we
like,
don't follow the law, we get caught and
Everyone
get
that's
reprimanded for it.
Yeah.
What are we going to say if it's in
That's
black
like
and white?
saying,
but-
I mean, if
I
I
it
mean,
were,
just because we don't follow the law don't mean it's right.
You're
the
right.
law doesn't have room for empathy.
That's what I'm saying. And you get
You're right.
legality and morality
There's
mixed
nothing,
up.
not
And
So
saying,
if that's
not
the case-
saying that you can't do it.
So if
He's
that's
not
the
saying you
case-
shouldn't do it, but you should be ready to accept the consequences.
Exactly.
Okay,
There's
so if
nothing
that's the
wrong
case,
with
y'all
that.
feel like if somebody's giving them, oils, they should get 45 years also?
I feel like if they should give,
Yeah,
if they're
whatever-
giving them
I
oil,
don't
they
even
should do it in a
understand
state
how-
where it's
I
legal.
was about to say, I don't
And they
even
won't have to
understand how
worry
they got
about
to
45 years.
years, but-
That's all I'm saying.
What was that?
I don't even understand how they got to 45 years, but if
I think it was
if
for
those
per
same
child,
laws
each case per
apply,
child.
then
Yeah.
do what you got to do.
And
Like,
and that's the point I'm trying to get at, because you're saying like, okay, they should still get it too, but then when does it become unfair after a while, where it's like,
There's
but
no
fair
fair
is,
is
did
what
you
they
break the
just
law or
did.
did you not?
Fair in life.
See, the problem is people get legal and fair mixed up. Legality and
I
fairness
I don't
is
get
not the same
I don't get it
thing.
mixed up
Like,
at
that's
all.
not the
I'm
same
just
thing.
asking a question, whereas
It's
You
fair
the
if you break
fairness,
the
the
law,
fairness,
you
you,
get
I,
punished.
you can do a crime and a white man can do a crime and y'all get two different sentences. Where's the fairness in that?
exactly.
So there's no fairness in legality.
I mean,
So
there's
if
not.
the
It doesn't work in the
So-
legal system.
So if the issue is that's too many years for what they did, then the
basically judgment.
repercussions for that law needs to be rewritten. But
Okay.
until then, I mean,
Why don't
shit, it
they?
ain't
Why don't
fair,
they
but it's
instead
legal.
talk to the congressmen or the politicians in that state to get that legal, so they won't have to worry about
I
it?
mean, it's not like
get reprimanded.
it's not like people haven't been doing that.
They have.
But,
They have, and it's changing. But until then, I mean,
I'm just basically trying to see, like, when it comes to your argument, Josh, how far are you willing to go with that?
I will be going to a place where it's legal, where I won't have to worry about being reprimanded for giving my child a substance that I can be reprimanded somewhere else for. That's just common sense to me. Like, why would I
But
do
then-
something? If I have to move, if my child is the most important thing to me. So me moving to another state where I give them something that can help them, that's nothing. Why would I move somewhere where I wouldn't have to worry about getting
that's the thing. You
legal
wouldn't even have to move. You just
I'm
have
just
to
saying if I
do
did
it.
have to move,
Yeah,
or if I
you
did,
just
I mean that's nothing for me to
Here's the
move
thing.
somewhere else.
Josh, it wasn't always legal though. So what do you do before that? And also, what I'm
Well,
trying to say
I don't
is,
think they've been doing a lot
No,
of
they haven't
testing with that
yeah,
openly.
you're right. But also another thing is like, based on something that's illegal, if it's used to save a life though, that's why I'm trying to, like, would it still be illegal?
That's just like if you're in the medical field, if someone needs a liver or a kidney,
yeah,
if you transplant that illegally,
yeah, that makes
you
sense.
going to jail and you
Yeah.
saved a life, but
Well,
you
what-
going to jail.
Well,
bro.
let's say you use an unregistered firearm to shoot somebody that was about to kill
You still going to jail for having an unregistered firearm.
No. I'm not saying say it wasn't yours. No, that's not what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter.
If you're in possession of that firearm, you still now you might have a lighter sentence. The judge can have some leeway on how they sentence you.
I'm not gonna lie. It might be different states have different laws.
That's
and you
true.
never
Different
know
states do
they
have different
might
laws.
actually let you rock.
They do have different laws.
So and that's what I'm saying. Everything you just said might apply to whatever state you're in, right?
Yeah, but he just said.
Yeah, and I'm like, everything.
Yeah, go to a different state.
It might be another state who might be like, okay, yeah, this is the situation, blah blah blah, whatever. All right. Like,
a lot of it
we're cool with that.
Or what if they don't be like that? Why not go somewhere where you know for sure that's not even an issue?
I mean, shit.
Because you're gambling with your child's life by putting it in the state's hands. Where you can go somewhere.
I mean, you're right.
So why don't you just go somewhere where that's not?
At the end of the day,
you don't have to gamble when you know it's for sure.
It's a gamble at the end of the day on both sides. It doesn't matter.
I don't got a kid, bro.
No, I don't have any kids.
Because anybody I know who has kids and their kid is in that situation, they won't mind leaving that state and going somewhere where that won't be an issue.
Man, everybody I know who have kids and shit. Motherfuckers don't want to leave nowhere,
It's
man.
up to the judge.
Hold on. So
that's what I'm saying.
if you don't want to leave, if you're willing, I just feel like it makes more sense to leave than break the law.
It does, but how many people actually really be like?
And some people who don't need to be. They can't complain about the.
I'm about to say that argument.
They can't. Look, I'm giving the other side to this because I feel like you always have to have both sides to it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just say what y'all saying, somebody's going to say, well, what about this and that?
Yeah.
You have to have the what if. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but you have to be able to make that argument for the other side. And the reason I brought all that up, because again, 45 years for whatever they did, yes, it was a terrible fucking crap. But
I think it was a separate charge for each child.
Yeah, it was like 4 kids in the room.
I don't care if it was a separate charge or not. That's still pretty excessive.
It's like 4 kids.
You putting kids' lives in danger.
Basically.
Like you're putting kids'
Bro, I ate a
lives in
whole
danger.
fucking bag of weed when I was a kid.
Was it
But
given
did
to you or
they-
did you take it?
I just ate it. It was sitting out on the
Did
fucking
anybody
counter. My
find
mom
you?
knew it
Did
was there.
people put it on social media?
I have a
There
There you
was
go.
no social media.
That's the difference between all of
And
this.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
that's
what you're like,
right
anything
there.
like everything Josh just said. Somebody can still be doing that, but if don't nobody know about it,
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah.
there you go.
Everybody
Yeah,
put
but
everything
all
on social media.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but they had all the
and
proof
that's
right
why
there
I
on the
keep
video.
telling
That's
them.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that
Like,
45 years, you know what I'm
Like
saying?
I said, I'm from the 80s and 90s, so we didn't take pictures like that. It's videos out here of people committing crime. Now you got a video.
Yes.
We're gonna fuck you over because like you just did it to 4 kids and you videotaped that shit on purpose. That's what Sean was trying to say. Like Sean was trying to say like they were trying to.
There's intent.
Yeah, there was intent because you was trying to videotape the shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's
the point he's trying to make. It's like it's not just because they did it. It's not fair because y'all did it. But no, they went out their fucking way to fucking record themselves giving kids weed.
That lady went out her way to record herself giving that child that CBD oil. So I mean,
she ain't had to do that, but
she did, and she did. That girl had to record her giving them kids weed.
I know,
but either way, it's being recorded, video recorded.
Yeah, but
She shouldn't have said it was the oil then.
the oil was to prove that weed is a medicinal purpose.
Understood. But
The
it's still,
one
the fact
with
of the
the
matter,
4
she still gave
kids.
that child the oil.
But but you gotta convince 12 people that. It's not just you're not convincing the people watching on Facebook. You gotta convince that fucking jury.
Because the jury could look at that whole situation
And be like, oh, she's
Okay.
helping her child. You can't show that picture of her passing a blunt to some little kids like,
But here's my thing though.
Here's my
Here's my thing though. Why would you put your fate of a child in the jury's hand where you could just go somewhere where that's not even an issue?
Son, again, that's why I said earlier, slippery slope. If we keep going with this, we're gonna keep bringing up like it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I mean, either way you look at it, it's gonna go both sides with it. Like, there's no right answer to this at all. There's no right answer.
I'm not saying that you're wrong or I'm wrong.
I'm not saying anybody's wrong at all. I'm saying like there's no answer to this. It's just we're gonna keep going with a what if. That's all that's gonna happen. We're gonna keep what ifing. So it doesn't make sense anymore. But what I was trying, like he explained it perfectly. All I was trying to, I'm not even gonna say argue, but debate on the other side of it is you got one person who is doing this for medicinal purposes, and you got somebody else who's just doing this because they think it's fucking because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing when I see, motherfuckers out here just letting their kids curse and do all stupid shit like that. Like, what the fuck y'all doing? or watching their kids fight each other.
Yeah, just
and all
like that bitch that had her son in the back seat just wilding out, talking about fuck this shit, throwing
Yeah.
signs.
Exactly.
I want to punch that little nigga, son. Like, yo.
So I always feel like it's a difference between that. Like
I agree with you about the morality part of it. I was just simply
legally,
saying.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I've already said that. I agree with you. But again,
morality,
people are
it's
going to
two
always
different,
argue the
different
other side.
scenarios. Yeah, definitely. But
So you guys agree with one another?
I've been saying that the whole time.
Fuck y'all.
Okay, so moving forward.
Damn it, Josh! Stop
I had
doing
sent this
that.
article to you guys, which I'm sorry Jai didn't read because he didn't want to read.
No, I did read it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I told you I read it. I was
he did
just
say he read it though.
Yeah, I read it before I put all that bullshit.
Oh, okay. All right.
I enjoy reading. I just wanted to make me
I read
feel
it
like a
too,
piece
so
of shit.
it was
Like,
crazy.
you don't like reading? Fuck these guys.
So the article itself was about the wage gap, the household wage gap between different races, more specifically
Oh no, I
black.
didn't read that one. I thought he was talking about
Not
I read that one
Nah,
too.
not
Yeah,
that
that's the
one.
shit I thought. Okay, never mind.
You talking about the son that
we
shut
don't
down?
talk about that.
Yeah.
And we can say that for another episode,
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, so they were talking about the wage gap between black families and white families, and this particular author was basically saying we blame so much of how far behind we are
Damn.
on slavery.
We've had this conversation with Sean.
On
Yeah, we did.
Jim Crow, the Jim Crow era, and all of that. And so his argument was maybe it is deeper than that. For example, you may say, oh, well, what they did was they did different experiments. For example, in a household with the same like family income, black people or black households were, I want to say, 41% more likely to have more expensive items with the same income, or people with the same amount of education of different races. Black people were at the bottom when it came to a financial health score. So what that means is the amount of money that they're saving and what they're investing their money in and things of that nature.
Snickers.
So he was let me finish.
Shut up, John.
So he was arguing that maybe it's deeper than that. And so I thought he made some good points because he was like, people always argue about slavery set them back, and this is not to say that Japanese Americans went through what African Americans did, because they didn't. However, what they do better than we do, I think, in my opinion, is they stick together and they work they fucking asses off.
Yeah.
Like they work they fucking asses off. Where we have potential to do better and be better, they apply work ethic and they
Man in
get
a
there.
Chinese shop, he working hard.
Hold on.
But that's not to say that they haven't had to face what we face. So when we do band together, for example, Black Wall Street, Oklahoma in the 1920s, it's bombed. So whenever we do come together, there is more adversities that we face, and there are other things that have affected us. But I do think that oftentimes we lean too much on, slavery and Jim Crow. That's not
I
all.
believe that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chinese people, and I've seen this on.
Damn, bro.
No, I'm not. No, that's not the racist thing. I just got.
I mean,
I've
Asian
seen
people?
Chinese people, just them, not the whole Asian, whatever. They are complaining because Chinese restaurants are racist. Because when they came to America, that's all they could have. But y'all can own them. We couldn't own shit. We couldn't own shit. Like she just said, Black Wall Street got bombed. But y'all came to the country, and it was like, all we can own, like, and I saw a whole YouTube video that was hosted by a Chinese female, and she went talking, and she gave the history of Chinese restaurants, like, that was the only job we can have, and this and that, blah, 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 but yet y'all could own it. The only job we could have was slavery and shoe shine and bullshit, blah, blah, blah. We couldn't own that. In the Navy, the only job you could get as a black person was cook. That was it. That's a government fucking job. You're in the military, all you can do is cook. Yeah. That's why we got movies like the joint where Cuba Gooding Jr. was fucking a diver and all kind of shit, because we got a race and a group of people that's against us in America, but y'all can come from somewhere else and they're not against y'all, they're against us. We're not against each other, they put us against each other. That's why we always talk about the king of the black people and blah, blah, blah. It sounds like a joke, it sounds funny, but no, that's a real thing. Like, we can't, be happy for each other coming up because we were trained to not be happy for it. Like, and then it had me mad about the YouTube video. She was like, oh, back in the blah, blah, blah years, the only job that Chinese people could get when they came to this country was be in a Chinese restaurant, but y'all owned them. We don't own a lot of stuff when we were born here. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was born here. That nigga ain't own shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I can't really feel bad about other races that don't have other, like, nigga, y'all got more shit than us. Like, we were trained to be against each other.
But they were getting oppressed in their own country. They came here.
Oh, really? Oh, I feel sad. We get oppressed in our fucking country that we raised.
I do agree that we were trained to be each other, to be against one another. However, there is so much knowledge in the world that I do not think that is a valid excuse now.
I don't think
you can Google everything that has happened to us in the past. And if you can read and you can comprehend, you can then apply that knowledge and change your mindset. Does it take time? Absolutely. But I just don't think it's a valid excuse anymore.
Let me say something. You're from Beaufort.
Yes.
I'm from Montclair. You're from the Low Country.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that it was illegal for a black person to walk down the street drinking a Coca-Cola? They would hang the fuck out of you. Mm-hmm. So people that come from other countries that come here and complain like, oh, y'all had a chance. Like, no, we couldn't. It was illegal for us to read. Simple fucking.
But what she's trying to say, Jai, is that it was.
Yeah,
it was.
Like we can actually do better now.
We have the grounds
and we
to
have the potential
take ourselves into
to do that.
Yeah,
right now. During the Reconstruction era, when our ancestors were first freed, they started out, they could not read. They didn't know how to do business in America. They had to learn that shit on the fly, and they took over. They were in politics. They were in every part of America. In fact, there's a black man from Macon, Georgia. You don't hear a lot about him. He's not written in anything, but most of the large white business names that are in Macon, Georgia right now that came up, they studied under this black man who started as a slave. He didn't learn how to read until after the age of 23. So I'm not saying that what we went through isn't significant, because it is, but what I am saying is that we are capable of surpassing that way faster than we're doing. We're so much more capable.
And also, like, the people that fought for us to do what we have now, basically, it's like all that effort they put forward to basically put us where we're at now. It's like sometimes I feel like we're not utilizing 100% of that. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're not.
Okay.
I agree with that 100%.
For one thing, Kia, don't cover up your boobs, because I'm still gonna look at them. Okay. For a second thing,
focus.
I just feel like it's not an excuse when I put it like this. I've always said this. We have groups of people against us, plus us against us. That shit ain't fair.
It's not. But
you know what I'm saying? There's no group in America that say, fuck Chinese people, we against y'all. Like, no,
you're right. It's not an excuse, but it also should not be a crutch. If you know that the rest of the world
like us, like, all right, I put
you gotta be able to stick
us
together.
In this room, we know better. But if we're not out here teaching better to people that's younger than us, then why the fuck, we're fucking up.
That's true.
I talk to people all the time that's younger than me, especially, like, at my job, it's mad younger black guy. I'm the OG at the job. And they come to me like, I swear on everything I love, it's a dude, like, he wants to join the Navy. He keep coming to me for advice and stuff. And I tell him the truth, like, yeah, it's not blah, blah, blah. You can die for nothing in the street and be a burden on your parents, or you can join the military and they'll pay for your funeral to die for the country. And they go, oh, nigga, you fighting a white man. White man what? Nah, I ain't worried about a white man. These niggas don't give a fuck what color you are. When them niggas wearing a fucking plane, even though I think it's still an inside job, when they were in a plane into Empire State Building, they did not give a fuck who was in there, son. They was like, oh, tell the black people don't come to work. It's like, whoever that motherfucker you getting goddamn planed on, nigga.
Well, I want to say this. I want to say, like, what she was saying, like, as far as Black Wall Street, there have been instances before we stuck together against the Black Panther Party in the 60s.
And
we even had a million.
Is against
government
us.
is.
No,
Absolutely.
listen. And the Million Man March in '95, nigga, there was a million niggas out there, and we was talking about us.
But it wasn't no bitches out there.
Million niggas,
so
man.
nobody-
It was
Oh,
like-
my
I want to believe there was a million
I was
niggas
gonna
out
go there. I was like, ain't no bitches out there. What the fuck are you niggas out here for?
But it's not even if it wasn't a million people, the fact that we was able to organize something like that, and so-called
We can.
leaders of the black community was trying to galvanize the troops.
But it does.
But we
take
didn't have
something-
No, it
Instagram.
was about the potential that we can come together for something like that.
We didn't have Instagram then, so we could do shit like that. Now we got Instagram.
I mean,
all
all
the
of that is
fucking-
cute, but it's
The
all of
fucking
that is
Tiki
cute,
Torch
but
niggas
it's
gonna
the
show up
distraction.
and blow shit up and fight niggas like.
Tiki,
It is,
everybody
and
wanna
now
know
I
Tiki
will, we
Torch.
do. I say we do face different adversities because even when they did have the Black Panther Party together, like you can see where Hoover was like literally enlisting the FBI agents to spy on these people, and
Yeah.
Black Panthers
But
were
hold on, I agree
literally
with you.
called terrorists
let
and
me
all
make
sorts of stuff
this
so they could go
clear.
in and shoot them. So
I
I
agree
mean,
with
yeah.
you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
I ain't saying
nothing. Our government ain't
I've been saying
shit.
shit the whole time.
And I still agree with you. Our government don't fuck with us. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
But
right.
we just got so many people against us to a point it gets like even at my job now, like you know how I was when I was at TSA, like I just like niggas was really trying to get me fired personally, like yo, we're gonna get him the fuck out of here. I put it for how many fucking promotions and shit I put in for and didn't get nothing. So I left. Now it's like I just feel like I know it's people against us.
All right, let me say
being
something
black.
about the whole people against us. You was talking about Chinese people and shit, right?
No, I'm not saying they're against us.
No, I'm not.
I'm saying they're
you didn't even let me say
for
my
some
point
bullshit.
yet. I didn't even say my point
Like y'all
yet.
niggas own y'all shit.
Josh,
We
shut
don't
up.
own our
I'm sorry, I said.
shit. We don't own no cotton fields.
Listen, like anyway. So
They
you
mad
talking
'cause
about Chinese people, right?
Yeah.
Chinese people have Chinatown, right? Where they
Yeah.
support their own businesses, right? So when we have the ghetto,
No, we support them also because we go there to buy fake Gucci's
okay,
and
that's
shit.
fine.
That's
But,
us, though.
but when we have our own, when we stay in impoverished neighborhoods, how many black-owned businesses do you see thriving there? Why don't we have neighborhoods where black people are there impoverished? Where we have black businesses and we can self-sustain our own communities,
We do.
and we
Chinese
don't worry
people
about what the fuck
robbing
other people got to say about us.
Hold on.
Chinese people don't rob
We
the Chinese.
have social media now to
I don't give a
where
fuck about social media.
Hold on,
No, I
listen.
mean, honestly, this makes sense though. I mean, cause
we
Go ahead.
can shout out to Rodney. Rodney go on social media and be like, yo, I got 3 Mr. 3 craft spots. I done been to all 3 of them shits. And
But I'm saying things like that could have been in place before even social media was around.
no, we couldn't because
Why
we didn't know it was there.
you gotta understand, Josh. You're still a '90s nigga.
No, but I'm
No,
saying.
no. You're still a '90s nigga, right? Your mindset is to
No,
think.
hold on. No, I'm not a '90s nigga. I think like progressive. What you mean?
Listen what you're saying, because you're saying.
So you used to do the butterfly at the club. then.
Because basically what the Josh trying to say, because we have social media now, us as black people, we can put this shit out there. Before then, we didn't have all that.
Yeah, but Josh's
You know what I'm
point
saying?
is Chinese people didn't have social media back
Right,
in the
and
day.
it's-
But
But
Chinese
Chinatown
people-
has been around for
people-
quite some time.
And they've
No.
always been around each other no matter what. It is what
Chinese
it
We've
is.
always been around each
let's
other.
not hold
What
on.
do you
Let's
mean?
not.
But again-
But we don't have Nigga Town. We don't have Africa Town. We don't have no
We
town.
don't.
because
But
we
it's not
built
just.
Chinatown.
It's not
Yeah,
just.
ATL.
We
It's not
built
just the
Little
government
Italy.
though. It's not just the government
So why
against
we
us,
can't
though.
build our own shit? If we put everybody else,
Because we
can't.
have people against us.
That's not a good enough
That's
reason.
not-
to-
no,
fine.
that don't
You
mean
That's not
just
good enough to
said we
stop us.
had
Yes, but that
Black
doesn't
Wall
stop-
Street.
We did.
And white people / crackers came and burned
So
that
we
shit
should just
down.
give up because they did
I'm about to
that.
say,
No,
what
I'm
you
not
have
saying
to do
give
is
up.
keep
I'm just
going.
saying we have people. There's no Ku Klux Klan against Chinese people.
They actually against everybody
White
that's not of the
no,
area.
Yeah.
because they fucking shit out of white chicks. There's niggas in the
Same.
Klan that's married to Asian chicks all day. They, believe me, I know. Nigga, we got people against us plus us against us. That shit don't fucking add up.
Fix the us against us.
So because the
Exactly.
Black
We
Wall
can
Street
just
got
fix the
burned
us
down, we
against
should
us.
just. I'm trying to figure out where, because other people are against us. Why can't we?
That
So-
doesn't stop us.
Go buy a business, start a business. I'm with you, and we're gonna all start a business and see how shit that thrives.
But here's the
because
thing, though.
We start a business now.
yeah, and we got like 3 followers.
So I
We got to start from the ground up. Ain't nobody
So,
got 100,000 followers in the first
Here's
year.
the amount of spending power that black people have is crazy.
Right.
So when it
We
comes
spend
to
the most
support,
money,
we
so
spend
we
the most
can't.
and
Why we
make
can't
the
reinvest
least.
in our own shit?
So I think I want
Son,
to say
I say that all the
we make
time.
what is it like? I want to say it's probably maybe 10%, maybe less, but that is the amount
And
of
we was
income
doing that before social media was
that's the
around.
amount of income that we have coming in. But the amount of spending power that we have, black people make up about 63% of the dollars that are spent in America.
She got actual
63%.
numbers.
And that's
I know.
before
I'm a
social
numbers
media.
person.
Fuck that.
About 60,
I don't
about
believe
60.
you.
We got
Google
facts
it.
now. We got somebody
Google
with
it.
facts.
Google it, please. Because correct me if I'm wrong. Because I know it's the majority, and we make the least, and we spend the most. Okay, so if we can take that and spend it, because here's the thing, no, we're not going to be able to go to Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and get a loan or anything like that, but that's where group economics come in. So no, I can't go to the white man and say, hey, give me some money. No, I can't go and say, hey, I want you to help me own this, but what I can do is go to people in my community and say, hey, I want you guys to invest in this business. Now that means that we cannot be against one another, that's true.
You're right.
But if we can do that and say, hey, I want you guys to let's pool our money, let's do this. There was a man oh God, it was a small bank, really small bank. I can't remember where he was from, but he was Chinese or whatever. Both his children had gone to school for investment. And, black people can go to school for investment now, so that's no longer an issue. But they wanted to get loans, and the issue was they weren't getting good loans. As Chinese Americans, they were not getting good loans. So he was like, fuck it. I know I got this cleaners over here, but I'm going to go ahead and open up a small bank. And I forgot the name of the bank. I was listening to NPR. But he ended up opening up a small bank to service specifically his community. It wasn't a large bank. All the money that they had came from people in the community, and they served that community. It can be done. We just can't be against one another.
Yeah,
Like you said.
I promise you, like
So
we.
fun, light
So
skin
how long? What episode we had when we said you can't be king of the black people?
Well, I don't know, it was a while back, and we've been saying that for the longest. Like
Thank
everything you y'all are all saying, completely true. And I'm a person where I don't like to dwell on the past. I don't like making excuses for myself, right? Like anything that if something doesn't happen or if it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna be better at it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I put a status from what I said like years ago. Like who gonna stop me? Only I can stop me,
That's
right?
it. Only you.
So to his point, we as black people, we have to stop trying to be better than each other. If that's the layman's terms of saying it, because we're so focused on why that nigga in
black
charge.
people.
Well, why I gotta listen to him? Why? What makes him smarter than me? Oh, because that nigga went to
But
college.
But
You
see,
can't
that's the
whoop
thing,
my
though.
ass.
That's the thing. When
You
when
can't whoop
people,
my
when I
ass,
hear
nigga.
people
Fuck
say
you.
that, I say nothing makes them smarter. Y'all, nothing. That's
But-
you doing that to
But
yourself.
you know that you say that. They don't want to hear that shit.
That's a normal
Like, and
thought
this
in the
is
black
normal.
community.
Like, this is real. I've seen it firsthand where I be looking like, the fuck are y'all arguing about? Like, nigga, what the fuck is going on?
I've seen, like, I know it takes a while, but
What's
I've
up, Willie?
seen the change, and you do have to start with people, with the younger generation. That's very true. But I've seen the change.
But the older generation kind of like.
How about talking to
But
the
the
white
older
student?
generation, shut up. The older generation kind of like poisons the younger. Some of the older generations poison the younger
I
generation.
do agree with that to a
You
certain
know what's
degree.
crazy?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I dealt with that today because older black people, and I love my mama so much, but she's stuck in the older black lady I deal with. And I would look at my mom like, oh, mom, if you didn't make grits so good, I would just. But her grits is so good that I can't even be like, mom, you wrong. Blah, blah, blah. But she raised me to think different, so I can't be like, mom, you wrong. Like, no, that's how she think, and I'm not going to do that to her.
Yeah.
Because she's not going to make grits and bacon in the
Oh
morning.
my God.
Now, one thing I can say about older black folk, we grew up in an era where if you're doing well, don't be telling motherfuckers our business
Yeah,
what we
don't be
doing.
telling
You
people
know
our
what I'm saying?
business. Yeah.
And
Even
that's
now,
just-
you don't want
that's
people
just how it
praying
is.
against you.
Exactly. Like, that's why, and it's crazy. Like, I've seen, dudes get somewhere in life, right? I'm like, damn, son, like, what? Shit, let me know what you're doing, G. Like, look out for the. Nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I gotta get right first, G.
But that's
I'm
the
like,
issue
damn,
of
dog.
you think this quote unquote proverbial pie isn't big enough for everybody to eat off. But what we failed, and I think when you work like with white people, you see that working together is where I've seen people come into positions with just an associate's degree who know nothing about what they're doing, and because they know people in the business, now they're making more money than you, but you have more experience. So it's proven that it works. You just gotta work together, and we can all get money. Like, it's more than enough money to go around. I promise it is.
I feel like if we can get past this self-inflicted hatred and jealousy in our own community, then we can go further. Because, like she said, we spend the most money, so we don't have to worry about Asian dollars or white dollars being spent in our community.
More than
We
enough.
Right. So that's not even an issue what other people think about us, or if they ain't fucking with us at all. If we fuck with ourselves, I think our community and our people can go further.
Yeah, but this is my whole thing. Like, alright, I'm gonna look at what's the dude that married Serena Williams?
Some
I don't
billionaire.
know. I don't like that.
I don't like that nigga. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
Something like that.
she just had his baby, right?
Yep.
I don't care how hard somebody works. Serena Williams just gave birth to the next CEO of that company.
Oh, she does. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So he got a nigga right next to him, like, yeah, all day, every day, like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sir, this, that, da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
You just changed the pampers of your next boss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gonna look out for your own.
Yeah, and like, even though that baby is half black, but, you know what I'm saying? But they're gonna train her to run that company. She has no other fucking, they had a daughter, right?
Yeah. A little
I'll
bit.
make sure I'm saying nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But they're gonna raise
Wait,
her
this time?
her whole life to run that company. Tesla, it's Tesla, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm making sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have these facts right. I got my laptop right here. I'm Googling shit all day.
Hold on. So, oh, were you done?
No, I'm done. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
got part to say.
Keena, shout out to Keena Kerr, because I ain't heard shit from her.
Yeah, I
I
would
in a minute, sir.
do disgusting things to her.
Chill out, man. Chill
Nah,
out.
cause she joined my shit too. But
Chill
she
out, man.
she knows. Stop it.
Terrible.
Like, she won't get this business.
Okay, so what did Keena say?
So she said we did more with less and had
Absolutely.
more community togetherness, and we looked out for each other
Absolutely.
back then. Than this new breed today, which is very, self-entitled
But here's
and
the thing.
selfish.
I don't want. I'm
If
sorry.
we did that because we had
We had no choice.
right? We had no choice.
And we don't
So, and a lot of, I think that integration had its pros, but it also had its cons.
A lot of cons.
And a part of those cons were there were a lot of things that we lost as a community when we integrated, right? So when I read the Miseducation of the Negro, the basic premise was you have two types of quote unquote Negroes, the educated and the uneducated. So the educated will go off, they'll go to these white schools, quote unquote, they'll go to these white schools and they'll listen to them, tell them why they're not good enough to own a business, why they're not smart enough to do as good as their white counterpart. And then they take that mindset and they take it back into their communities and say, well, I'm not going to help you, I'm not going to invest in you because that just doesn't make sense. I'm going to help Billy Bob over here. Whereas the uneducated black man who hasn't been conditioned, and man, because of the time period that they were in, but because he hasn't been conditioned in that way, he was more likely to own a business. He was more likely to be able to bring his community together and believe in his people, right? So that was one of the things that we lost when we integrated, because I feel like
Everybody's educated.
when we integrated, the biggest thing was, education. But it wasn't let's integrate. They wanted to integrate because they felt like our education was superior. We wanted to integrate because we just wanted the right to go to whatever school we wanted to go to.
Yeah.
But the overall archetype that succeeded was, their education was lackluster and we needed to help them. That was not the case.
I know how to solve all the problems in the world, and I'm about to say it right now.
Oh, Jesus.
And I just need y'all to back me up. Honestly,
God.
God, everything I love.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no, man.
And I'm going to say this right now.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Black women need to run everything.
Who is it?
What?
Black women need to run everything. They're the most educated.
Not
They've
everybody.
been through the most stuff. We
Not
just
everyone.
listen. I'm dead ass serious.
Keisha
Like,
Bottoms out here cleaning up Atlanta. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not joking. I'm saying everything I love. I was raised by all black women. Black women need to run everything because it's been proven they're the most educated. How many black women you don't have 2 to 5 degrees right now?
2 to 5, bro.
Oh, I know a lot.
Thank
But you know that's my
But
choice.
and you proved the last episode when y'all was putting on about the black woman who's going through the most surgeries because she could take it and blah 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 and she did. Y'all are
I don't know, I
deemed
can't remember
strong. No, I listened to it. There was because I think it was you telling me.
Yeah, the father of gynecology, he performed his
you.
first successful hysterectomy on
Okay.
Thank you. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm dead ass.
Sorry, we
serious.
don't think you're trying to be funny.
You said we couldn't
I
remember.
just feel like y'all been through the most and been through all the bullshit that's going on. If we follow more black women, shit would be better. Cause they've been through the shits.
So here's what I
And I love all you and I kiss all you on the mouth.
See,
Oh,
there,
Lord.
that's where you
here's
missed
my
it.
view on that. I do believe that I don't believe that we need to run everything
I think you need to
for
run everything.
eternity. However, what
Not
I
for
do
eternity, for a good
for a good
3
while.
years.
What I do believe is, if we're gonna get into the door, if we're gonna get into these CEO positions, these CFO positions, if we're gonna get into high levels of politics and in the law and everything else, I do believe that the black woman is the way to do it. And here's why I say that: because as a black woman, when you walk into a room full of white people, they don't feel as threatened as when a black man walks in.
Yeah.
That's the first thing,
That's
right?
my whole thing.
So we can come in and we can speak our piece, and they don't feel like
Ghosts.
they're being attacked. Now they may say, "Oh, you're quote unquote being the angry black woman," but they still don't see us as a quote unquote threat.
They be wanting to fuck.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
They do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
They
that's
wanna
the other
fuck.
thing.
Y'all
Let
wanna
me
fuck.
tell you,
Y'all gotta
because let me
take
tell
this.
you, I had a manager who I knew wanted a little sweet black thing on his arms, and I would have never gave him any, but I definitely used it to my advantage. I cursed him out every chance I get and was like, "You're
He
not
loved
gonna
it.
fire me."
You know he used to,
Exactly.
he used
He
to go
did.
home and beat off to
He
that
did.
shit.
But my point
You know
is
he used to go home and beat off to that?
no. My point is that I think that is the way in. And then not only that, we have a link to the upcoming black men that are coming in, and the black black children and everything else. So we can reach back and say, "Oh yeah, I know somebody, blah blah blah, XYZ, yada yada yada." That's how you get into the door.
I agree with that.
I think, and I say a lot of fucked up shit. Yeah, I know, but I love black women, and I think y'all should run everything. I promise on everything I love. I will. When I go to vote for shit, I be like, "Is a black woman?" I don't give a fuck. She like, "Yeah, pro Klan, black woman." I hate niggas. Black women vote. Niggas ain't shit. Black women vote. She knows what's going on because niggas ain't shit. She's in the streets. What's going on?
I fucking hate him so much.
I love him.
But I swear, I'm like, I seem like I'm just saying shit like, yo, I promise. Like I said, like, black women have been
Always wants to correct
on some
black men.
real shit known
Women
to
are
be
correction.
the most educated.
The fuck you talking about, Oz?
And
I
we
would
will
say most
ride
black
or
women-
die.
Bro, can't nobody
for
hear
Thank
you.
you. And black women
I was just saying,
like
I
love
wouldn't
black
really-
men.
Love the hell out of them.
And I love y'all that love me, and I would make sweet love to all y'all. that
All
love
right.
me.
Well,
So let's wrap this up and get the fuck out of here because I'm hungry.
This was pretty interesting episode.
Anybody going to the goddamn Waffle House or
I'm
something?
going home after
I was
this.
about to say I'm gonna get in a bed.
Yeah, I'm going.
I hate y'all.
Don't hate us because niggas
I
don't want
gotta
to
be
go
at
out
work
and do
at
shit.
7:45
I gotta
in the
work
morning.
tomorrow. Nigga, you gotta
I'm
work.
off tomorrow.
Okay, then.
Like, that's all I don't like y'all because y'all work the days I'm off.
Nah, I'm really off. I'm
Fucking
working for
weekend.
somebody, so.
I'm off.
Right, ain't nobody got nothing to do with that. Shit.
Hey,
Or
listen.
Labor Day. I'm off.
Fuck.
Listen. We're gonna hang out, and I'm not gonna try to fuck you because
I won't
women
even
be
be
swearing
here.
up and down like when I be like, "Oh, let's hang out." Oh, John trying to fuck me. No, I'm gonna come out, but like, listen, hit me up this weekend.
I won't be here.
Where you going?
I'm going back home.
Ain't shit going on in Buford.
Y'all
Y'all got like
get some good food and some sunshine.
One thing, y'all
and
got-
some water.
a regular fucking Walmart. Y'all ain't got the super Walmart like we do in this corner. We out here.
Walmart.
Yeah,
Street
you got
Walmart.
the-
First of all, what you're not about to do
Oh
is
my God.
centric. Nigga.
Look, so, anybody got anything else they want to add? Anything going on? I guess, y'all.
That was the longest time you were quiet though. You really sat back and listened. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I saw you listening.
Fuck that. I don't have.
FBI.
Actually, I don't have to be the one to try to bring facts anymore. I got somebody else to do this shit.
Oh, no.
So I'm
Bitch, I got
good.
a goddamn laptop now. Goddamn it, we out
Why
here.
you got a laptop for real though? Like, that's
Nah, I
real.
got my YouTube and my
See,
Facebook.
you got
saying.
this
He got his Pornhub and his
Listen.
videos.
Shut up.
No,
They
this-
got Fred Hamilton. They'll get us
Oh,
too.
okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god,
I
y'all
get
so fucking stupid.
$4,200 for on my fucking
For your sex doll?
Pornhub
Oh.
shit.
Well, guys, it's been great.
So, I know about anything, is there anything y'all wanted to plug for anybody? Anything going on in the community? Anybody, has
I
anybody
got,
been?
listen, I'm saying it right now. Next weekend, I got the guest.
Oh,
I'm good.
thanks.
Because your guest didn't show up.
Did not actually, and yeah, I got to see this motherfucker tomorrow. So,
And you
We're
know,
hurt,
bruh,
whoever you are.
be careful.
nah, I'll be just talk shit to you, so I'm good.
Shut up.
Like, I'm good. Like, look, it is what it is. But
shout out to everybody for the live stream.
shout out to everybody who's been
Shout out
watching
to
our
my
live stream.
YouTube live stream,
Guys,
Facebook live stream.
Again,
Everybody that listened for my job, that I done put a few people on, and I appreciate them.
we're gonna get people, everybody who's on my live, everybody who's listening to this, you know, we're gonna get y'all to start watching us on our YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's difficult for us to
I'm
kind
on
of.
YouTube now.
Yeah, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you know, just that helps out a little bit better than me just having a live. This person have a live. You get to see all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about picking up a camera and turning it around. Like, y'all can still comment and all that shit. We can still do that with no problem.
Yeah,
But it's just easier for y'all to
live
just do that.
streams, do the SoundCloud.
Yeah. We're trying to get into other things, some, you know, podcaster, you know, we'll try to get that jumping and see I could download that and
Castbox is free.
Castbox, yeah, whatever, all
That's
types
what
of
it is?
shit. Whatever.
Castbox.
Yeah.
So we officially on that? We
No.
officially trying to do that?
No, we're just trying to get it on there.
Oh, well, let's
We'll
go.
figure it out. Other than that, I don't have anything else to add.
I'm done. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Alright, that's what it is.
Oh yeah, you got some.
Yeah.
All right.
So, this was the Unfamous Podcast. This is your boy Sean, Mr. NJ Brick City.
Motherfucking Jai from up in the sky.
Unreal Fiction.
Any Hardaway.
Just Kia.
That's actually just your nickname now.
It
Just
is.
Kia.
Just
Yeah, and we love it for it.
Yeah, and
just
you know,
Kia.
we appreciate y'all for listening to us, alright? Good night, and we'll holler at y'all later, alright? Peace.
Alright.
Let me make sure that this shit.
Follow, subscribe.
No, man. Fuck
Man,
that.
somebody just take a. Are we gonna do a picture today?